Hey folks, welcome to the PlayStation 4 Tournament's Mortal Kombat 11 Open Series. We're here for the monthly final for May for the North American side of the bracket. I'm Wonder Chef joining Ketchup as usual, and we just got done watching Disarded pull off the win on the European side a little bit earlier today using that 6 Sub-Zero. I've been enjoying the matches. How about you, Ketchup?
It's been a fun day and a nice return, I think, to familiarity. We haven't had the weekly invitationals, so there's been a lot of time to kind of build up and get prepared for this monthly finals. All the same players are taking part, but then the question always gets asked, what are the developments like? What are those weekly storylines? Because now there's a lot more build-up. And, you know, even seeing the pro competition a few days ago, we were seeing players like Mighty Unjust, if I recall, picking like Shao Kahn and stuff like that. Like, a lot's happened in a month. So I'm excited to see today's bracket, and more importantly, with this kind of modern recent patch, which has changed a few characters that were very popular in North America, like Cetrion, like Joker. What does this mean for the monthly final? You know, we're going to get something different. Let's have a quick recap over last month's grand finals, though, as we set the stage for tonight's entertainment.
Yeah, where we saw one of the most classic matches, if not the most classic match at this point, of the North American side of the Open Series. It's going to be the Mighty Unjust against Tweedy. And as usual, these two are in the tournament again today. Tweedy had won every single monthly final up until last month. He won January, February, and March. But April was a different story, with Mighty Unjust coming out on top pretty strongly. And now we're going to see if he can repeat, or if Tweedy can steal back his throne, or honestly, if any of the other really good players that we've got today could instead take it themselves, because we've got a lot of familiar names, I would say, overall in the bracket, which we will go over in a little bit. But I'm sure, I would say all but one, I think, of the names in the bracket, mostly everybody should be familiar with. But yeah, that's just how it went this time, and it's gone back and forth, obviously, the match between these two players, so I would expect it to continue to do so.
And it's a continuation of months and months and months of activity between these two. The characters can change sometimes. Well, from Mighty Unjust they do. Tweedy is Geras all the way, but at the end of the day, I just want to know what kind of characters we're going to be seeing today. Tweedy able to take those monthlies, and then Mighty Unjust kind of getting the April one as we now jump into the next. And we'll be bringing up this bracket real soon, because it is, again, a combination of players that we've seen a bunch, you know, so the El Kakoys, Aztec, Scorpion, Unjust, and it just keeps going. But then we have other players that we haven't seen as much. Now, a big one there for me being Guillotine. Now, Javier, 2KG, we've seen Javier a few times, but Guillotine, it's a first for me to see Guillotine in action. I know Guillotine plays a pretty large team of characters, actually. There's a Sindel, there's a Robocop, like, we could see all kinds of characters today.
We could. I mean, like you were saying, a lot of really well-known players in the rest of the bracket, but extremely good players that everybody loves seeing, and there's a reason why they are in mostly every top 8 that we have. So it is nice to see a new face, like you said, like Guillotine. And again, this is the monthly finals, so there is a giant bracket before this that they have to fight through, and on top of that, there's a lot more money to win. First with $400, second with $300, third with $200, and fourth with $100. And so they're definitely going to be trying their hardest today. But kind of back to my point, there was a bracket all the way before this, which means that Guillotine, you know, player that we're not as familiar with, has already definitely earned their spot coming into this, not only qualifying, but making it into the top 8.
Now, for those that want to get involved in all PS4 tournaments and all the stuff that is provided by this service, it's as simple as going to compete.playstation.com. That is the website that gives you all the information that you need. It tells you what games are involved, because it's not just Mortal Kombat 11. We have Black Ops Cold War, we have Soul Calibur 6. That's just to name a few that we saw earlier after EU came to a close. And for those on Twitch and YouTube, you should be able to scroll down and click a little icon that takes you directly to the site. So you haven't even got to punch the URL in. But I think it's about time now that we start our first matchup, which gives us an opportunity to see Javier versus El Kakoy. El Kakoy playing a whole bunch of different characters. Recently, I'm not 100% sure on who he plays. I know Cetrion's been a big pick for him in the past, but has that changed? Now Cetrion had a little bit of chip damage taken away, and I think the 950 health change as well. So she's not quite the same as before. She's still plays like Cetrion, but there's a few extra weaknesses. How extreme they are, I guess, remains to be seen. But at this stage, the competitive matches let us find out, right?
Yeah, and again, this is kind of the first time that we've had a full month break in the Open Series, and so we don't get that week to week where we get to see these players develop, and so much can happen even between weeks before and now between an entire month. Like, there's the opportunity that a lot of these players could have picked up new characters, could have changed their play styles, could have improved a lot, just total changes, or they could be very much the same depending on how things have gone. It's just a big question mark to us. So I'm excited to see even these players that we're way more familiar with today and just see how they do. The big one, is Elkakoi, right? A player known for having a ton of characters, just a lot of characters, but very similar to a lot of, I think, players in NA. Will be interesting to see if Cetrion is still the pick. Like you said, I still think that the way that he was playing Cetrion was extremely good, and I hope that we do still see the Cetrion. I don't think the character got nerfed all that much, just some minor things. Like you said, still plays like Cetrion, still has essentially the same utility that Cetrion has always had, just slightly skewed a little bit, not as much in her favor as far as risk reward, and that it was already pretty heavily skewed in her favor. So I hope we get to see that. However, we might see a whole something else. And on the other side, Javier. Now, Javier, repping the Aaron Black here, I think also has multiple characters, I do believe, but a player who's been on the Open Series a few times before, a decent amount of times, not as many as maybe some of the other players in this bracket who are literally here every single broadcast that we do, but still definitely going to give us a good showing, and I'm excited to see how they do as well today, and really what the character matchup's going to be. It's always a question mark in North America, except for a few players.
And the other character listed as the Joker. So we might be seeing a little bit of Joker. But again, Joker, a character that was adjusted in the recent patch. I think one of the big ones in this case being that Joker became a 950 health character as well. But the thing about Joker is that his greatest strength becomes Fatal Blow. So the second Fatal Blow is an option, the cancel, the throw, and everything else that comes from it. That really is where he wants to be. So the 950 health change, it wasn't a nerf as much as it was an adjustment, because it means that he starts the round closer to Fatal Blow, which is ultimately where he wants to be. So I actually think of all characters that had their health changed, Joker probably came off the best in that exchange, because it's not like it's a huge detriment, because he just gets Fatal Blow quicker. That's really all there is to it. But now, Javier versus Elkakoi, we've seen a lot more of Elkakoi, who has been a consistent top 8 placer, top 4, grand finals even. We've seen him a fair amount. But I guess it just begged the question, what character does he pick today? I don't have a lot of information, haven't seen much of Elkakoi this month at all, to be honest with you, because there hasn't been a huge amount of, I think, community activity that he's been playing in either. So normally when it comes to Elkakoi, the number one way of us seeing his gameplay tends to come from Open Series. And now the monthly finals are what we have. There's not as much of him out there, which I think can be almost a bit of a secret weapon. Like if he's grinding some characters in secret, perhaps they're going to be harder to stay on top of. But, okay, Cetrion anyway, and looks...
Are we going to get classic?
Dearie me. I'd like that variation name moved, please. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're going to see the Fujin. Fujin is a character who is known for being able to get in pretty well on a lot of different zoners. But we are going to see the classic variation from Elkakoi. On the other side, we're going to see the semi-classic one with the wind push, as opposed to the... wow, why am I blanking out on what down back 4 is called? Warped Needle. Thank you. Thank you, me. My brain worked eventually. But, yeah, Elkakoi, big story from Elkakoi is that he did manage to finally find one win in an Open Series broadcast, his very first one, out of only about 5 people who have ever won the North American Open Series. Not a whole lot in general. Just hasn't been able to repeat it since then. Has gotten very, very high up in the placements, but just falls just barely to a lot of the other really good placers here. So I would love to see him get a repeat at some point, and I think sticking with this Cetrion for such a long time is definitely going to increase his chances. Currently doing decently well in this matchup, but now stuck in the corner. That's kind of a tough spot.
And I think as well, this matchup, the wind push is a huge part of it. It's not necessarily the damage, it is just being able to somewhat nullify and create the situations where Cetrion can't just sit and throw any kind of projectile from far away, right? You catch the startup, regular teleport out the corner. Oh, the walk back, and that's going to be that rock wall. So as you can clearly see, there were adjustments made to Cetrion, but it didn't stop her from being Cetrion. So it's just everything's a little bit weaker. I think I used the term a little quite openly, but she's still the same character. So if you're going to play Cetrion, then I don't think it's changed you too much.
Yeah, it's you know, it's the utility. That's the way I like to say it. You know, still plays the same way. It's not like you have to rethink how you play your character. You just have to rethink what the certain situations are going to be as far as risk reward. But you know, if you're winning this badly anyway, I don't think you really have to think about it at all. And honestly, despite the fact that the tornado chip was quote unquote nerfed, it still does a lot of chip damage. I need to go back in and actually like see the numbers, but it's still like pretty significant for the fact that it's a safe on block special move, right? All right, getting a good amount of damage with this conversion. Gonna get almost 500 probably. Oh, over 500 through the head. That's a big combo, especially on a now 950 health character, but just needs to find a little bit of chip or laser. Ooh, get stuffed out. Oh, no, but the overhead is gonna do it.
Oh my lord. Okay, so is there prior information here? Do these two players have beef? What's going on? We wasted no time. The second we went in to finish him, it began.
It's possible. I don't know. El Kakui is, how do I put this? El Kakui is a very opinionated player.
El Kakui is a very cocky player, Chef. Let's be real. Let's be honest here.
El Kakui is the kind of player who'll hold a grudge. I'm a big El Kakui fan, but just from seeing their like conversations in player discords and such, there's been some funny interactions that I've just noticed by happening to be in there. And you know, sometimes there can be some grudges between some of these players. You know, North America's not always extremely I guess like happy with each other. They're all a lot of friends, you know, but sometimes you just end up getting to that point. And well, the Fujin pick didn't really work, and I think that was a counter pick. So also, sometimes when somebody counter picks you and you're like, oh yeah, you're gonna try this counter pick, you just go and you're like, yeah, nah, that's not gonna work on me, buddy. But it went for it again, you know. So we'll see if there's any sort of change. Nope, same exact thing with the win push. It just didn't seem like it really worked out, you know. I mean, Fujin can get in, but I mean, you still have to like play your main game.
I think if you're gonna pick Fujin against Cetrion, the wind push just makes the most sense, right? You have the mobility of the Skywalker, and then Arsenal. It's not mandatory, but it's really, really, really good. But at the same time, you need that wind push to shut down any kind of full screen game, right? It's annoyance more than anything else, but also safety on the back one, an element of safety that's hard to come by without it. But right now, able to push forward. I think starting that first game and the immediate kind of finish him situation, that's going to pump up a couple of players. Javier, I kind of wonder what's going to happen if this next game goes in the favor of him.
Well, that'll be a tough thing to find out, probably. Elkoy still looks like he's taking pretty good control of this. Still only going to take a few openings with that pretty high damage that we do tend to see from Fujin, but having the wind push is not really an advantage to the damage. Doesn't really give you all that much more damage. You can amplify it for a little bit. Wow, that was a funny way to get there. That might have been an unintentional kind of like overhead spot right there. Sometimes they do forward 2, 3, 4 instead of forward 2, 3 into back forward 4 because they assume it's going to be connecting at least on block. But one way or another, we take those. I'm going to keep using that term today. It's the classic, most classic FGC term maybe. We take those.
One of many. Followed by pick a top tier. But now, looking for the back one. Doesn't quite hit its mark. I mean, that Cetrion down 4, always been one of the best buttons in the game, I think. With what it can bring forward, no anti-air. Just letting it rock. Letting the whole string go as well, yeah. There's no flawless block there, though.
Oh, really nice block, but that actually has a ton of pushback. Very weird little hop overhead right there. Forward 1-3 probably would have been able to punish it, but you kind of just assume that the jab, especially her jab's really long, right? So I fully understand how you...
Are more people blocking short hop attacks today as well? Normally online, they are obviously harder to deal with. Eee, able to set up the crushing blow. I like that.
Yeah, we saw a bunch of short hops blocked today. Like, we've seen almost none of them hit, actually, which is weird. Oh, catches the fatal blow. It's that last chance opportunity. Definitely like the best risk reward option you have right there because you are about to die for sure. So gonna put Javier in on the board as far as rounds, but still going to be without that fatal blow. Pretty good fatal blow, too. I think you get a lot of opportunities to convert into it with Fujin.
Nice delayed back one. That's going to catch regular rock wall. Now the corner pressure. Oh, what a neutral duck. And just has to hold it. The armor break proper easy. You just have to respect it.
Ooh, weird trade. Hellswrath does a lot of damage, though. And in fact, everything kind of still does a lot of damage. I don't really notice the chip difference from Tornado, you know, even just looking at it as it's happening. This is one of the first, you know, tournaments that I've really got a chance to fully watch since that happened. It's been kind of a busy couple of weeks.
Yo, barn on block into the... Oh, that's a full combo. Hang on a minute. I think that's the game. Yes, it is. Is it going to be in reverse? No, we waste no time. Straight in.
Ooh, yeah, that was surprising. I thought we were going to have some sort of thing going on right there, but just says, you know what? I do not care for your disrespect. I will instead try to win. But yeah, a lot of that came down to kind of that final moment. You know, a few unfortunate defensive choices from El Kukui that just led to everything running away. And I mean, that is Fujin. You know, it's really interesting to me, actually. I feel like Fujin is considered one of the better characters in the game. You know, maybe not like top 3, but very much top tier by a lot of the player base, like probably most of the player base, but we don't see a lot of good Fujin players, which is a weird thing. Obviously, he's a difficult character, even though he's a little bit easier post customs. I'm still surprised that we don't see more people play the character. He's a lot of fun.
Well, we used to talk about Fujin being a very execution-heavy character, and as I've said before, I think that was definitely something that kind of changed with Ultimate, because Cloud Walker being the most prominent variation he had, the Skywalk cancels into full combos, like, they were pretty execution heavy. And the second Ultimate happened, Arsenal became a thing. So a lot of those combos, on top of being less meter intensive, are actually easier because you haven't got to do any cancels. You just do Skywalk and then you just do the tornado in the air, right? So it's a lot easier to play Fujin at a basic level, and it lets you kind of relish his tools a lot more effectively. But still, we don't see a lot of people play him. And I wonder if there's just an element of Fujin. He's not going to be everyone's character. He's still a bit of a unusual pick, even though he is fantastic.
Yeah, it's true. I wonder if there's some other character that people just end up saying like, oh, like if this is my style, I might as well just play this other character. I don't really see who it could be because he's pretty unique, but I mean, I think he's super fun. I played him a lot online.
Hey man, one of my favorite things to do in this game is to play Turbulence Fujin. Turbulence is such an annoying move. I love it.
Fujin, yeah, that's the other thing. Is like I do like the fact that we have so many people that play Fujin with like some slightly different variations, but I think there's some very different Fujin variations that have the opportunity to look into. You know, like some of those setups are actually kind of nasty. Ooh.
Oh my good lord, Javier putting his life. Yo, he has put his life on the line 3 times doing down 1 into the wind kicks, and every time it's worked. I cannot understate how much of a risk that is because you get down 2 KB punishes on it, but look, if it works, who am I to judge?
Yeah, I mean, I think El Koi really needs to start just like paying attention to that, right? But then the fear is that they can down 1 and then just do whatever they want after it because you're respecting it so much. Here we go, gets the restand. Just 2-1-3, getting a little bit more chip. Maybe could have confirmed that into 2-1 tornado. Jails. Ooh, no crushing blow. I don't even know how that crushing blow works if you trade.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the fact that they trade probably is what stops it. If there was like frames before the trade, I'm sure we would have got it. But this is looking likely to be El Kukoi's round at the very least. That forward 3, nice, meterless pickup. Unfortunately, can't quite get anything else. No flawless block, but again, just showing it the respect. Wind push doesn't do much on its own. I mean, you have to amplify it to even do damage. Get out of my skies.
That's such a good option. I mean, that covers pretty much everything that you can do out of the sky from the Skywalker, which, I mean, that's the thing about Hell's Wrath, right? Is it actually has the hitbox where it looks like it has the hitbox all the way above her head. So you can get some weird anti-airs and stuff with it, and yeah, that's going to be a great tool right there. Oh, there it is again! It just keeps working. It just keeps working. El Kukui definitely gonna have to feel a little bit salty about that. Oh, the respect. Getting some Triborg assists, maybe.
Big jump in. Hang on. Letting the jump in whiff too. Love that resolving patience there, but that's a giant. Oh my God, no!
Oh no, that has to be so tilting, so tilting. You get the biggest opportunity for a comeback that you have. It's a way too high in the air. Go for the 2-on-3 way too early, and then it gets punished with a crushing blow of the opponent's own. That is for sure got to feel really bad. I think that we need to see either maybe like a character switch just to like change the momentum up, or maybe just like a little bit of time just hanging here on the character select screen from El Kakoi, because I feel like El Kakoi was in really heavy control of the match early on, and then things have kind of just slipped away from him as like the down one into kicks have been happening, or like just these weird little like stray hits here and there, these weird little things that might be a little bit tilting. I keep using that word, but it's true.
No, I think it's a good word to use, because the stuff El Kakoi is playing rock solid at the start of the set, and then the more down one win kicks he gets hit by, the more combo drops that we see, the more missed punishes, the kind of worse El Kakoi is playing throughout this set. And you know, I've been there, right? Like, we're in a situation where you get frustrated and it just makes you play not at your 100%. I kind of think that's what's happening to El Kakoi so far. There are certain options that we're seeing come out, and even things like that. The rock gets beat out by the dive kick. There's no trade. That's probably going to annoy you a little bit.
Yeah, it's just all these little things that add up, right? And it doesn't seem like a lot, especially if you're just watching. You're like, whatever, just shrug it off. But it's really like impossible to understate how difficult that is. There we go, finally gets the punish, and there we go. That's what should have happened in the last game. Should have just gone for the down two crushing blow. But you know, that's El Kakoi kind of adapting, and also just looking a lot better in general this round. So I do like that. But big damage coming in. Oh yeah. Oh no!
Wow. Oh, I was so worried when we saw that roll and nothing happened. Is he waiting to punish it maybe with fatal blow in mind? Catches
that could have worked.
Lovely read. Ooh.
Again, we see Howl's Wrath really putting in a lot of mileage in this matchup, right? It just covers all of that angle that you just really want to cover. It's so nice. It's really, like, especially as time has gone on in the game, I feel like you didn't used to be able to anti a lot of people with that, but now, like, sometimes it'll catch Jackie, sometimes it'll catch Fujin, sometimes it'll catch Cabal's jumping over your head, and you're like, wait a minute. Having this actually appear above my head is kind of useful.
Oh, that's a huge risk. Very much so. It's always a weird thing watching a Fujin kind of dedicate to the dive kick, because there are so many things that you can do that doesn't result in you getting crushing blow punished, but that is the only thing that will cause it.
Well, I mean, I do feel like Javier does play this style where he kind of tries to go for like, oh yeah, I'll play normal, and then here's something that you don't expect me to do, so when it hits you, it will, you know, tilt you. And that's kind of what he goes for, right? With like the down one into the kicks and the run over slow into dive kicks. Hold on, wait a minute. This is looking over, but it's not over yet.
Oh my
no! Oh. I didn't even know that had a crushing blow on it, actually.
That is absolutely insane. It's hard to set up too, because you have to do all three directions.
That's right, all of them. That's right, that's right.
But you have to do them sequentially too. So the third one has to be the final distance, and that will. So the setup required is actually a lot more technical than most.
Yeah, I remember actually having to set that up in training mode for a video, and it was like, I was like, why am I having to do all this? This is like a lot. So I can't believe we actually got to see it in a match. Like I literally forgot that it happened. Oh no, but yeah, then that's just another one of those things, right? Just adding onto the pile of all the little victories that Javier has won over the course of this set.
And that win push, that right there shuts down. It shut it down again. No rock for you. It's not about the damage of that move. It is about just shutting down your options and giving Fujin room to do what he wants to do.
Oh, and Javier in fatal blow. I think it's a pretty good opportunity for us to see that, actually. Oh, maybe even lands another hit. Oh, there it is. I knew it. You had to know that this was coming, right? It's his kind of like play style where you're gonna see something like that, and now it's gonna be a chip situation.
A win push will kill you.
Bars. Yep, you can't risk a single win push hit. Good blocks. No more meter. Oh.
Oh, he goes for it again.
Oh, and maybe the most disrespectful thing to do after you beat somebody, hit them with the full fatal blow. That was super scary, right? That was, again, another tilting thing into another tilting thing, and it gave El Cucuy so many opportunities to mess up. But honestly, he played it very safe, very clutch in the end right there. You know, I think it would be really easy to get hit with a random win push, just catching you out of some sort of zoning, or to, you know, just mess up when your opponent's approaching you. But everything he did right there, super solid. Even after all that, getting hit by the raw fatal blow in neutral, just looking real good, honestly. And I feel like that's got to feel like a really good win, right? After dealing with all that stuff, you managed to pull it out, and you got to be thinking like, wow, I did that. So game 5, you know, we saw a lot of game 5s in Europe. Maybe we're going to see the same thing here in North America.
With it being monthly final, there's plenty of time for players to get ready for it. And I think in this instance, especially with what El Cucuy's doing and finish him, there's going to be a little bit of extra motivation, perhaps. But the Fujin style, I think there was a lot of frustration coming out. The way Javier playing is bothering El Cucuy, I think. But at the same time, you're able to bring us into a game 5. Who's going to be able to keep their head screwed on just that little bit longer?
Well, that certainly is the question. But like I said, you know, I feel like having that win, getting that win right there, has to kind of like, it clears the like mental stack of tilting, you know? Like you're no longer frustrated because you're like, okay, that was annoying, but I got the win. And oh, actually breaks away right there. That's an interesting choice. I wonder if there's a possible punish after that. Like maybe if they amplify the dive kick.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. Again, needed to duck right there, maybe, or just block a little bit longer.
I mean, all he had to do was block for a second longer, and he would have got another gigantic punish, or at the very least forced Javier to spend the defensive bar. Like I said, some mishaps. This down one into wind kick. El Cucuy, he's not prepared for it. But to be fair, no one does that.
Yeah, but it's worked so often. So often. It's very surprising to me. But hey, you know, if it's working, don't stop doing it. Number 1 rule of fighting games. Ooh, managed to make himself safe. A good choice to block right there. Oh no, had to be a mistake. Had to be a down 4. Got down back 4 instead. That's it. Oh no, didn't have bar. Or he did have bar. He could have spent that. Maybe he thought he was gonna kill without it.
Looking for the next.
It's gotta be a fatal blow here. Oh, no, no chance. Actually, Fatal Blow right there might have worked. You know, you can armor through the first hit of Wind Push by taking no damage. So a Fatal Blow, you're kind of okay doing that. That might have been the answer. However, match point for Javier. Finally going to get the punish. Doesn't go for either of the crushing blows. This would definitely, I think, be one of the times you want to kind of cash out on that. But, you know, there is another round past this, even if El Cucuy wins. So maybe you just want to say, you know what? I'm going to save it. He's going to do something unsafe later. Guarantee it.
Nice punish. Again, ready for that short hop. That's the whole thing, Rock. But another catch. Forward 3 into wind kicks this time.
Yeah, the cancel into the low. That's pretty cool. There's a chip. No anti-airs. Yeah, I mean, we've seen the anti-airs kind of backfire a lot earlier in the set. That jump kick, one of the best jump kicks in the game, for sure. Oh, no.
Lovely
wind kick again.
Oh, you're done. You're done. Wait, amp.
Roll. It had to be the roll. There was no other way. It had to be the roll.
I don't understand. He did the wrong combo. The round was his. He just did the wrong combo there. I don't know why he didn't confirm into more damage.
I don't know
Hopefully
either.
does not regret that.
I mean, there's still the wind push.
Oh
the
my God.
So clutch. Oh, man. And the other thing, too, is at the end there, you had to know that it was going to be a roll, right? That's the only way to get out of that situation. But back 1-1 is one of the only strings that gets full punish by roll easily. And look at this. It's turning all around. Gets the full 2-1-3 punish and even more pressure. That was just a bunch of unfortunate choices all in a row from Javier. He's down to 1/4 life already. Already has an opportunity to make it back. No more defensive bar or offensive bar from El Cucuy.
This is going to be a extreme tilter if Javier loses this. He had the win in the palm of his hand. He just had to do anything that wasn't that. Oh, no. Oh, that's tragic.
What a heartbreaker.
Right, so let's talk about that one moment. We have to do it. It is the moment El Cucuy had lost. Javier had the back 1 in the corner. And instead of confirming it into anything else, he had both bars. I'm sure he had meter. Instead of doing any kind of normal combo, which would have killed, he just did string into wind kick into amp, and he miscalculated the final damage by a couple of percent. He just did the wrong combo, and he lost because of it. That is such a heartbreaker.
That is rough. Yeah, and then, like I said, there was no defensive, or there wasn't very much defensive bar, I think, for like, basically, like, he could chip out Okukui, right? There wasn't enough for last breath. That's what I'm going for here. So he only had one opportunity to get away from that situation, and it was to roll. And he did the most punishable string ever when you roll past it. It was the weirdest choice. If he just stood there and did like 1-1 and then waited for the roll and then turned around and just made him block, he would have won. It would have been very, very easy, and it would have been kind of like a win-win situation. But I mean, huge congratulations to Okukui for being able to take like a situation like that and playing to his outs. You know, it's like a term you see a lot for like a lot of different card games, playing to your outs. But it's very important in fighting games too. When you're in that checkmate situation, if there's any opportunity that your opponent can mess up and you have this one chance, right? You take it, and if you lose, you lose. If something like this happens, it's a miracle, and you win an entire set rather than going to the lower bracket immediately. So yeah, the clutch on this round was amazing too. But here we go. We see the situation again pretty soon. I think it was at the end of this game. But yeah, I mean, definite heartbreaker.
And this was just the end of it, right? This is where things all fell apart at the end.
That was the end of it, yeah.
A final round that shouldn't have happened, but when this kind of thing happens, there's not much you can do. It's an obvious error. It's the easiest thing to correct. You just need to keep your head in the game and not let it bother you. It's a heartbreaking way to lose a set, but the important thing for Javier to remember is that he is still in this tournament. Now, our next matchup is going to be Aztec, repping that famous Kotal Khan, but going up against Guillotine, a bit of a more new player, I think, to open series. I can't recall the last time I saw Guillotine in this tournament, but looking at the player survey, the character team is Sindel, Frost, and Robocop. So there's a pretty large amount of characters here that you don't see a lot. Not a lot of North American Sindels, barely any Frost players in general, and Robocop recently buffed and given 1100 health. That actually has helped Robocop out a lot because he's already going to trade really well because of his low auto 9, and now you've given him more health. Eesh.
Yeah, I actually wait. Didn't he get some other buff? Oh, that's right. It was the 1-2-1 buff for whatever that string is, where it's safer on block. I was hoping we were going to see some Robocop today. I guess there's still an opportunity, but maybe not in this match. We'll see. Sindel, of course, a great character, and Aztec, like you said, only goes with one character. I don't know if I've ever seen Aztec play a different character. Even like going back to Mortal Kombat games, I think it might have been only Kotal Khan that I've ever seen. But for a good reason, you know, especially, stuck with Kotal Khan actually through the thick and thin, because there was definitely a thin moment, I would say, at this kind of the start of MK11. However, they gave him some very appropriate buffs, and now he's a force to be reckoned with. And so Aztec probably pretty happy with that. But, you know, if you're willing to play through release Kotal Khan for the first year of this game or so, then I feel like you're probably just never going to switch off of Kotal.
Or Variationless Kotal and Mortal Kombat X. And he's actually had a single match, if I remember. He had a single match in Open Series where Aztec had Variationless Kotal as well. I think it was against Breaking, I think. It was a while ago. But I do specifically, he even called it Variationless. Like, I remember that nice and clear. But this matchup, we know we're going to get Kotal. The question is it Sindel, Frost, or Robocop? Of all those characters, I don't even know who you'd pick against Kotal Khan, because Frost has range. All three of these characters have range, but Frost hasn't got the speed of the buttons, whereas Kotal does. Sindel isn't going to have the same access to damage outside of Haircut. Haircut will change things a lot. And then Robocop, he's just going to have that relentlessly dry keep away, and the fact that he has the extra health to kind of tank those trades. So I don't know.
I mean, Robocop could be a great pick here, right? We've seen before that Kotal obviously has a lot of tools to get in on people, especially just the fact that his normals go like half screen. But the keep away from Robocop is ridiculous. It's pretty ridiculous. We've seen it from a few different players. You know, we've seen it from Suneo. We've seen it from Arn Kratos. And now, character's stronger than ever, really. And we haven't seen a whole lot of success from the character since then, but there hasn't been a whole lot since that last patch. So this could be the day. The health is going to help a lot, right? Kotal, huge damage character. Just for landing these simple little hits, it adds up so quickly. But having, 1100, that's as much as Kotal used to have. And now I think the only character with 1100, or does Shao also have 1100, I think?
Shao was given it. So it's now that RoboCop and Shao Kahn now tie for having like the most health in the game, which has been really big. It is, I think, of all characters that benefited from that, it is RoboCop, because if he's playing his game correctly, the only damage he's taking is from full screen. And if you start the round with more health than your opponent, you're already winning the trade war. Like, it's as simple as that. And you're able to just create that situation for yourself. But I do believe as soon as this match is ready and the players are in, we will be jumping in. So don't worry. We want to see the matchup as well. I'm not sure what kind of delays are taking place, but sometimes it can just be as simple as trying to get the players in and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, so just thinking about some other things about the potential matchup. Like, if it is a RoboCop, I wonder how well the cat gets through all of the pressure. That could maybe be a little bit of an issue. We do know that, I guess technically it's called Tequani Mall, I think. And we do know that Aztec is a pretty big fan of that move, as it does kind of get like projectile immune sort of partway through. It's a very weird move with very weird properties. It like goes under certain things and over certain things and has weird pushback. And yeah, but it's very strong. It's like a really good ender, and it's really good for just getting you in safely if you spend a bar. And so that could be kind of a way to kind of auto get in on RoboCop. So maybe that's a little bit of an issue in that matchup. It's a tool that not a lot of other people have. So honestly, I kind of feel like if it's between all those characters that we just talked about, I think I'd maybe like to see Sindel, because she can get some pretty solid damage no matter what variation you pick with her. That straight hair whip that we see as her armor breaker, if you amplify it, it does a ton of damage for whatever reason. It's like, I'd say it's one of the better specials in the game. It does a ton of damage. It armor breaks. You can choose which side you throw them on whenever you hit it. So even just converting off of like forward 4 with it, it's really good if you can hit confirm off of like the double hits of it. So I think Sindel, kind of a solid pick all around, right? I don't think there's too many characters that I feel like just destroy Sindel.
And at the same time, I think it's just a nature of familiarity with Aztec. Aztec playing only Kotal for the most part means that he's going to have absolute just scientific knowledge of matchups. So when you play this, I'm going to say unorthodox team of characters, again, just to refresh everyone's memory here. In the player survey, Guillotine listed his team as Sindel, Frost, and RoboCop. That's not a common team, let alone playing them all together. But which one's it going to be? Aztec. Who's he playing?
Probably waiting for
conventional, I think.
I think probably waiting to see if there's a zoner or not on the other side, right? Hovering over Collector. I don't think that's the pick, maybe?
I think it's a fake out.
A second ago. Yeah. Just going over all the weird characters in the game. All right, going to Sindel. Yeah, can't use that one. That one's banned. It's called Scream Queen. I saw the hop, I think? Or wait, was that the... Is it the weird command? I don't know. Hold on. I always try to figure out too quickly.
It's the weird move where she can go like scream, 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 scream. I think, if I remember.
Oh wait, no, it changed. It changed. I see. So it's haircut and low star screamer. So this is the higher damage version, right? With the low projectile, still gonna be able to zone a little bit, and we are gonna see the Tequani Mall and the air Tequani Pawn. So the double cat plus the safe discus, just to add a little bit to that pressure. Ooh. Oh, unfortunate breakaway to start off the game.
Now that low star screamer is going to be able to go under some of this, but you're going to be giving Kotal Kahn that opportunity to close in space. One good jump. Happy to just create that Sunray instantly, and already he's done a decent chunk of damage on that alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, that is classic Kotal Kahn, right? Like, you end up doing so much damage just off of like, oh yeah, I hit you with 2 normals into a special 2 times and your health is gone. What happened?
Oh, there's the patience. He knew it. And there's that short hop. Now, Aztec, he's fighting someone who has very telegraphed projectiles from full screen. It's going to give a lot of these weird sunray positions for him. There's a good maul. One of them on deck.
Oh, big whiff. What the heck was that? Who even swings with that? Just uses the like
Kotal
sword in
Kahn
neutral?
Players.
Yeah, I guess that's
Kahn
true.
Players, they swing with that. Catches buttons, it catches jumps. It's just a giant box in front of him.
Ooh, the stagger. All right, in the corner. Oh, just wakes up with down 4. Who wakes up with down 4 into unblockable? Kodokan players. That's going to be the answer for all my questions, I think, during this match.
Yeah, what allowed it to work is that down 4 on hit guarantees the unblockable. There's nothing you can do to challenge it. It's just the fact that the down 4 worked. Now we're not quite in the corner. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, this is such a horrible situation. We're dead.
Unnecessary damage right there. But yeah. I mean, down 4 into unblockable is actually a really strong tool. It's kind of an underrated tool, I think. Obviously, it's a big risk because it's very punishable if it's blocked, but it's the only thing in the entire game that you really get guaranteed off of a down 4. And his down 4 is pretty good. So being able to use it in kind of a spot where you can maybe even like buffer it in footsies is sick. You know, that's very like classic fighting games to do like a low poke buffered into a special that's going to be guaranteed if it hits. And that's just not something you get a lot from this game in general. But you know, great first game showing. Just kind of playing the normal Aztec game. You could tell how well the cat worked in the matchup, getting through a few of the different zoning tools already. But oh, we're seeing it off the gate. So here we go. We're gonna see the 1100 health, slightly safer RoboCop, I guess is what I could say. I didn't want to see what the variation is though.
I think I saw the flamethrower. It'll be low auto 9 mostly. Yep. Right, so the air charge, the flamethrower, and the gunshot. So there's going to be a big emphasis here on zoning, and at the same time, anything on hit, we can go into flamethrower, create that guaranteed situation, air charge from maneuverability, and armor break. I mean, let's see what this variation brings. You know, that Robocop looks kind of cool, I'm not going to lie.
I'm usually of the opinion that you could never change Robocop's outfit, but that's pretty decent. That's pretty cool.
He's got some nice ones, but it's hard to beat the classics. You know, that red super soaker gun?
I mean, he's got some good outfits, but yeah, it's the classic, right? What normal was he throwing out there? I didn't even see what he was doing.
Oh, whatever it is, it's not working. He's getting sliced up like a sandwich. He just didn't get a chance to do anything. Guillotine. Yeah. This round was just, you're not allowed to play Robocop. Sorry, mate.
Not allowed to do any. Yeah, we didn't see like almost literally any moves. Oh no! Tried the low gunshot to anti-air, but air cat. I mean, it's a pretty heavy read, but it worked out. I think Aztec's maybe feeling himself a little bit. Oh, nice whip punish.
Oy, instant jumping. But the ball going through the low auto 9. Another grab that just doesn't work. Ay, we're just swinging out with the paddle.
Calm down. Oh, that attempted a flawless block probably. But again, we take those. All right, getting a little bit of damage here. I really like using the wrist rocket in the zoning. Oh, ouch. And that's going to be just barely stealing the life lead out. Oh, that's a tough trade. Oh, no, that's a lot of damage, but you're going to heal back so much. Oh, thank you for the additional zoning. Dead Monk on the floor. He might be alive. You never know.
Oh, what? What happened there?
I mean, he was like airborne for some reason. I don't know. That was a really weird side switch interaction. Like he was jumping away.
Yeah, can we please watch that back? I have no idea what happened. I think he did it into like immediate low poke into the paddle, it looked like. But I've never seen that encounter before.
I think he used the cat to get over the opponent and then did down one into the sword cut, but the opponent jumped away and it like knocked the opponent away and then they landed back in the sword cut, I think. But
just the end of that round, really. That's just the end of that round was so unusual. It was cat into button into paddle, but I've just never seen that encounter before. That was so weird. Anyway, no time to reflect on it now because we're going straight into this next match. Let's have a look.
There is time.
Right, I do want to see this again. All right, so it's around here, right? He gets the knockdown. Boom, throw
good
tech.
Cat. Oh, he switched sides.
He did.
That was why it looked so weird. Yep.
That's exactly what happened. Very, very much so. Well, I guess that's our question answered. Just in time. And it's been a new Sindel variation because we've got the Star Screamer, Barrage, and Whip and Flip.
Yeah, the not as launching variation, but it will control neutral maybe a little bit better. The Air Banshee project, interesting choice. Usually we see the Banshee dash as kind of the zoning option in the air, but this can be like a kind of an option that works. Hey, the effector works right there. just jump back. It's almost like you use it like a dive kick, right? If you jump back and see somebody doing something in front of you, committing to something, you get that punish for free. But it's not a huge amount of range.
Unfortunately now, oh dearie me.
No. Oh, the way that Aztec is playing this match, it's not in a kind way. It's a whole lot of just like, yeah, I know what you're doing, and I'm going to just play my exact way that counters that, and just hasn't given Guillotine almost much of an opportunity at all. But again, just as a reminder, this may be a little bit of a one-sided match so far, but Guillotine has earned their spot to make it here for sure. There's a whole bracket before the top 8 that they had to win through. It's just that Aztec is a very, very common name here. One of the premier Kodokan specialists in really the entire world, and
I agree.
So it's just it comes down to sometimes you just can't play your game.
And speaking of which, that damage buff certainly doesn't help matters. Neaty low poke, looking for potential mix-ups here maybe. Instant jump to crush the parry though. No flawless block. He's happy to just sit and respect it. Wait for it. Oh no!
Oh my gosh. That cat has gotten so much mileage throughout this entire set. I'm glad that I kind of predicted that a little bit earlier, but here's the friendship. We're about to get a 10. I don't know if this is the kind of place you want to get a 10. You're gonna get some of those those soul beams giving you a 10. You're gonna end up with like a green face or something like that. I don't know if that's how it works, but I'm gonna pretend that it is. But yeah, a little bit of a rough match there. It's a nice first showing in the Open Series, but the North American side can be very rough. I think it's the best way to put it. Sometimes you get put up against one of these top players very early on, and you're just not able to quite find your footing. And switching around between to a different character and then a different variation just meant that there just wasn't the time to really adapt. And that is an issue if you do have multiple characters. The RoboCop, I like the pick, but with somebody who's so used to using the cats so often, just zoning is not an option. I mean, look at this. You zero damage zoning here. There was another low laser, and then the cat goes over. It's just like you can't throw fireballs against this player at all. And so Aztec is going to move forward to fight El Kukui in the upper semifinals. Whoa, I said that backwards. We get another classic matchup coming up next. Ice Scorpion and the Mighty Unjust. And this is a really interesting one for me. Actually, the most interesting one, I think, in the first round. Because this is a matchup that we know quite well, but these players always switch around what they're doing. Either their play styles, their characters, and it's been a month since we've seen them. So I feel like there's a good chance we see something new out of either one or both of them.
But now it's going to be Ice Scorpion coming through again. Haven't seen Ice Scorpion in a month, but he's been a very successful player for a long time, actually. Not just in Open Series, but in pro competition. It's been wonderful seeing him flourish as a player because he really is talented. There's really no other way to explain it. He plays a whole bunch of different characters. Jackie's the favorite, but he's played tons of characters in the over a year now, really, at this point. I've been seeing everything take place. And his opponent, Mighty Unjust, who is the most dominant player in Open Series history. That's it.
Hold on. This is the first time, I think, that Mighty Unjust has put Cetrion as his main, right? Isn't it been Sub-Zero here for 600 years?
Yes,
so
it
this
has.
is that's very interesting to see that. And especially, kind of the week after Cetrion got some nerfs, which clearly haven't made that much of a difference, as we saw from El Kukui earlier. But that might be a little bit of a sign as to what Mighty Unjust could be playing today. But yeah, that's weird, It's been Sub-Zero for literally an entire year of the Open Series.
And at the same time, Unjust has used a bunch of characters recently. I think it was against, I believe it was Abyss, actually. Abyss did really, really, really well in the latest NA East Pro competition event. And it was whenever I watched him fight Unjust, when I tuned in, Unjust was using, it was the final game, so maybe it was sorry, Moth, go away. Leave me alone. I'm pretty sure I didn't pick up on camera, but it appeared right in front of my face and scared the hell out of me. But he was using Shao Kahn against Noob Saibot, and it's what have I just tuned into? Is this a tournament? And, before we know. So clearly Mighty Unjust has been playing a whole bunch of different characters anyway. So although, Cetrion or Jackie is the fair bet, kind of curious to see if he's going to bring out anyone else just for a good time or whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, Mighty Unjust has an unfair amount of characters that he can actually use at a tournament level. I would love to see some Shao Kahn. Of course, that was the finals of the NA East where Abyss did win, or not the finals, sorry, the final open of NA East. And so Mighty Unjust had a little bit of leeway there. I think he was already very much guaranteed first place as far as qualification over there. So he might have just been using some fun characters, but I do hope that we get to see him use some fun characters here as well. Of course, going up against the Ice Scorpion, they kind of have two modes, right? Where they're going to go super like hard mode against each other, which is what it looks like it's going to be right now. The other one is that they really just mess around against each other and they troll each other with some fun picks. But this is the monthly finals. They maybe haven't played each other in a while because, you know, it's just been the weeklies. And so they're just going to go for their kind of mains here. And yep, we're going to see the classic variations from both of them, Deep Freeze and Creeping Ice. We're starting to get used to seeing a lot more of Rising Ice, but Mighty Unjust never really got on that train.
Sorry, I got so close. I was waiting so hard for the camera to change. I was so close. Oh, bless me. I had an itchy nose at the worst time in the world. Anyway, as we now start this matchup, the Sub-Zero coming out from Mighty Unjust, who's going in with his Creeping Ice and Deep Freeze. You know, this is such a classic variation for him at this point. Knocked down. But Sub-Zero, I mean, he gets to mix all the way, and Sub-Zero's been such a good character for him.
Yeah, I mean, Sub-Zero, honestly, is such a solid character. That's the big thing about the characters, that, yeah, sure, you can mix people to death, but he's just got such solid normals, right? His down 4 is amazing. His down 1's very fast, even though it's a little bit short. He's got, like, a solid mid-string that's safe and hit confirmable to check people with. Technically, it's a low. You know, he's got a footsie normal with back 1. He's got anti-airs with, like, standing 2 or back 2. He's got good jabs for punishes, and his damage is solid. So, like, he's just, like, a really solid character in general, on top of the fact that if you do land one hit, there's a chance that you could literally just kill them. Oh my god! Ow. What a round start. What a statement.
But there's the punish instantly again. You gotta watch out for those instant blasts without amplify. That's where the punish comes in. Oh, that was well aware. Nice read on the breakaway as well for the ground puddle. Unfortunately, though, trades it out with an ice ball as now we're gonna get even more damage. Bam.
Oh, the forward 4. That was like a weird forward 4. It almost looked like it was a continuation of a dash. All right, mix up, and the low, and I think this should be it. No defensive bar. Oh, no. Giving him a chance. That's not good. Oh, tried to forward 1, got down forward 1. Big mistake. Oh, but a lot of chip damage in here. Never mind.
That was very much a spaghetti round. You probably overcooked the noodles, I bet. 1 round apiece. Both players with their fatal blows, too. I mean, these are two characters with incredibly significant fatal blows.
Oh, yeah. We're going to see a lot of fatal blows in this set for sure. I mean, generally you want to combo into them, but there's always the chance for either to be used in neutral also. Ooh, just whip punishes on landing. It feels like there's been a couple of missed inputs, basically, some drops from both of these players so far, which is pretty uncharacteristic of them, but it is, of course, the first match of the broadcast for them today, so maybe they just kind of need to solidify.
Oh, God, the infinite reach of the jump in. Lovely flawless block, though. However, there's that confirm from the low. Mighty Unjust Chef, he's got so much meter.
Oh, just backing up. Interesting. Oh my god, backing up, going in, backing up, going in. Both these players know that they can basically play the game at full screen for both of them. Is a crushing blow. Yep, that's going to be it. Knows exactly what he needs as far as damage. Set it up perfectly. Mighty Unjust, previous monthly champion, looking to win again. Starting out strong for the day. First game win. And
I was genuinely, the second we saw that combo ender, that back 1-4 into slide, and he's just dashing around the screen, dancing around, I was like, he's looking for forward 2 slide. I know he is. That's why. He's going to get in range and he's going to do forward 2 slide because that damage is going to do it. And the moment I saw Sub-Zero raise his hands, I'm like, I'm right.
That's it.
My Scorpion is wrong. Can't blame him though. Sub-Zero's forward 2.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, too, is sometimes, even if you block the forward 2, you mess up just slightly and get hit by the slide, which is always a bit of a heartbreaker. Or sometimes they do forward 2, and then you wait for the slide, and they don't do the slide, and you're sitting there, and you're like, wait, what? And then they recover, and you're like, oh, no, I missed a punish opportunity.
Forward throw.
Or, here, the real tech is you got to do forward 2 in a row. That's the real tech. If somebody hits that, I will, I don't know. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll definitely give them a shout-out.
But a really good first game. You know, that deep freeze, though. Extra damage and just trying to get a knockdown, good damage. And if they broke away, big damage instead.
Yeah, not a breakaway that you usually see. A counter breaker. Armor breaker. A lot of different ways I could say that. Ooh, knockdown in the corner. Opened up with a lot of lows so far. All right, the breakaway. It's funny because that was kind of a breakaway that people used to do on accident a lot, and they were really unhappy when they do it. But now people just do it intentionally to stop the crushing blow from building and to stop the Oki.
Absolutely. It's kind of an interesting development, really. But I know you pointed out he's hitting so many of those back threes. The moment he did forward two, Ice Scorpion blocks it. You can tell what he's a lot more afraid of, I think. However, it's not that it's helping him because getting hit by those lows does open up full combos for Sub-Zero. Waits for the inevitable down one, pushes in. Oh, wake up uppercuts.
Hey, we saw that win the entire tournament in Europe. Getting flashbacks to that immediately. Right back in the corner. Oh, nice. Oh, barely drops the conversion. I think maybe it was a little bit far, but there might have been a little more time to get that forward one. Oh, drops the combo. Again, pretty uncharacteristic. Did manage to get a reset off of it, though, and yeah, that's it.
You know what we call those, Chef? American resets.
Yep, that's what we do, especially here in the North American bracket, right? It's pretty perfect. We don't drop combos, we just do resets. And that's literally what happened.
Believe he dropped the combo on purpose to create the mix-up.
You know, I actually was looking at that and I was thinking maybe that was intentional because he did down one and Ice Scorpion recovered like instantly. It was really weird. Like he did down one forward two, which was a really weird thing to do, but it was perfect. So maybe that's actually like a setup, you know?
You might be onto something.
Yeah, well, I seem to recall like the setups back in random callbacks to Injustice 1, where when you would down to somebody twice, for some reason they would recover really quickly. So it was almost like a restand because they didn't realize they were getting knocked down a second time, and like they would just go right back up, and then they'd be like, wait, what? I'm standing? And then you'd command grab them or something like that. So there are the opportunity to do that in some NRS games. It's just people haven't really had that situation very much in this game, but that almost looked like that.
He's mirrored him.
Oh,
the same variation.
Not looking.
Now, I've got to give props to Ice Scorpion for rocking the MK9 Sub-Zero mask. I'm a big fan. However, we can clearly tell what the plan is here. That cannot be mixed. We'll do the mix. Unfortunately, he got mixed.
Fight ice with ice, as they say.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's how they say it, at least.
Oh. Oh, wow.
Oh.
This is a really unusual round.
Yeah. I like that down two, though. That's what Ice Scorpion was doing to Unjust, and then now he did it backwards. Oh, no.
Deep freeze versus deep freeze. It's not really an encounter you see all that much. That's that 1-2. Meaties the low once more. Dash in. Oh, he's looking for overhead. They trade, though.
He almost countered off that trade. That was pretty close. Oh, gets all the way through the 4-2-4. I like the attempt to try to... Oh, no conversion, and that's going to be it.
He wanted to reset.
That was really fortunate.
He wanted to set up the overhead reset. The overhead into deep freeze. The combo wouldn't have killed as is, but if he did jump in overhead freeze into Fatal Blow, that would have done the damage. But Unjust, one step ahead, ready for it. And now a match point. Oh, no.
Doesn't get the punish, but gets another opening at least. Still, a little bit of a spaghetti game in general so far. I mean, kind of just
the sauce
no matter
is
what the match
just from a jar. No garlic bread for me to dip.
Oh no! What a curse!
That's to confirm.
Oh, mid-screen crushing blow. That's so much damage.
Oh my god! Ever meet someone with a slide before? Ice Scorpion very much throwing the kitchen sink at him at this point. But you know what? If it works, lovely stand up. Looking a bit like a reaction, that one. And that gives him a round and a chance to stay alive. It has not been the cleanest series, and this is not the cleanest game, but if you're able to at least scramble through this next round, Ice Scorpion giving himself breathing space. Oh god, never mind.
You know, if Ice Scorpion manages to win this 3-0 as a comeback, I would be extremely surprised. I kind of have already written it off as like a troll pick, like, yeah, you mix me, I mix you. But, you know, his Sub-Zero is looking pretty good. It's looking, I mean, very competitive, obviously. They're going 1-1. Nice. Gonna get Oki off the forward throw. Just backs up. Maybe trying to bait a forward roll. Oh! The clash of the deep freezes. That's so sick looking.
I actually saw chat asking what would happen if two deep freezes collided. Well, I guess there's your answer, folks.
This is like a very different fighting game when two projectiles meet and they just clash with each other and disappear.
Oh, he's dead.
Crunch.
That's the one. Out we go. Well, create flavors.
Oh, yeah. You know it. It's Mighty Unjust. There's no other way he ends his set. He's always creating the flavors. And instead of a Scorpion there dropping the ice cream, it should be Ice Scorpion there dropping the ice cream because he has opportunities. But again, this was a weird set where I feel like we saw a lot of drops from both players, a lot of like missed punishes. That's pretty uncharacteristic of them. So I don't know what it is. Maybe just first day, first match of the day, kind of like jitters or something like that. But regardless, it just seemed like Sub-Zero worked out. A lot of really good choices overall from both players. Just some weird execution errors.
Sometimes, whether it's tournament, whether it's ranked, whether it's casual matches, like, a set can just be a bit of a disaster. And anyone that's ever played in a tournament knows that there are those moments where you'll be playing really well, like the casuals are going well, and, maybe previous matches in the tournament went well. But there's just that one series where just nothing goes right. The combos don't land, the setup timings are all wrong, and it's just nothing that you want to enforce works, and it's like I can't even tell you what I did wrong. It's just that it was a complete train wreck, and it happens. That really is all I ever want to enforce, is that stuff happens to everyone. And I kind of think that might have been one of those sets because we didn't get to see much from the Jackie, and the Sub-Zero was definitely kind of trying to fight Mix with Mix, but clearly not one of Ice Scorpion's main characters. Very much looked like a pocket Sub-Zero, but I mean, it almost won the game. It almost got a win. So,
yeah, looking a lot better, honestly, than I thought it was going to. So maybe a character he's going to have a little bit more seriously in the future. But we'll have to see if he can make it back through the lower bracket because we're going to move on to another just super high-profile matchup between two classic Open Series players, Tweedy and Biohazard. This one, I think we can kind of guess what the actual matchup will be, but, variations are always a big deal for Bio. I don't know which one he's going to use. Tweedy, probably the most predictable player in the Open Series. We never have to say what character will he use, what variation will he use. It's like, yeah, the same thing he's been using for the past year, right? It's going to be his usual stuff. Bio, though, has done quite well against him over time. Of course, Tweedy, and Tweedy and Bio, actually, really both of them playing in competitive NRS games for many, many years, many games, and really since the start of MK11, both of them have been very consistent over time. But the story more so is that Tweedy's been doing very well since the start of the game. Biohazard took some time to kind of find his spot, I think, and really take advantage of the fact that Kano got so much from custom variations. And so over time, he's just doing better and better and better. And a lot of people have been kind of inspired by his play. Kano also a character that's been considered better and better over time.
And you kind of look at the 1-1 game, the overheads being enforced, being able to kind of just let those lows rock. It's not the same kind of comparison, but we've been watching Tweedy play a lot of Possessed Kenshi in MKX because he's able to secure top 8 in the Twitch rivals for Mortal Kombat X, which is a great accomplishment for him. And when you look at Possessed is like buttons with cheeky lows and the occasional overhead. It's more extreme, obviously, because MKX has a lot more overhead and low focus, but you kind of look at Tweedy play Possess and you look at him play Geras, and you can kind of see links between the two of them, even though they're completely different characters. I've always found that very interesting.
Yeah, it's almost like he's playing like a tank. You know what I'm saying? Like this character just walks around slowly and you're like, okay, what can I do here? And then you make one little mistake and these super solid normals are hitting you for 40%, and then you're hit there in a strike throw mix up and the defense options are so good. But whoa, you know what? Every time that I say something, it's always going to be wrong on here. So I thought we were going to see the Kano, but we're going to see an interesting pick to the Baraka, which is not a pick that I think we've seen in this matchup.
Charge? No.
The ultimate mix! The ultimate mix Baraka. Command grab and the low stab. This was a really fun one to use. This was back in the very first beta, if you remember. I used these two and something else. It might have been Spineburst or something like that, but it was only one for the lunge. But yeah, this is a mix variation, let me tell you. And here we go, starting off with mix.
And more mix being enforced. Anytime we stick out these buttons, it's either going to be safety or it's just going to be mix-ups upon mix-ups. Lovely sweep with punish, and we are already starting to pile this on. Nice and heavy. That forward 2 game. Now we are going to have spine burst here, so the combo pathing isn't going to be all that good. Don't expect crazy damage here, but expect momentum. Plus frames. You have the down 1. Oh, no, thank you.
Oh no, the ultimate faux pas, I would say, walking into the blade charge. I mean, or not the blade charge, sorry, the chop. But I mean, I think I've probably walked into or accidentally attacked into chop more than I've actually ever punished it. It's probably like a not so good punish to punished ratio. Oh, big hit.
Yeah, and this combo is going to bring him out of the corner too, which is the whole thing. Doesn't let it go, just staggers it rather than enforcing a mix-up. That could have been a crushing blow. However, the important thing here is that Tweedy's fought his way out the corner.
Oh, gets hit. Not the highest damage option, but it is a nice knockdown. Probably didn't assume that full string was going to connect because he got hit partway through. Probably assuming some sort of tick throw. And we haven't really seen him go for too many of the mix-ups, the high-low mix-ups with the leg kebab, right, out of the strings. It's mostly just been like 1-1-2 into it to keep it safe. It is basically a safe move. I don't know if there's anything in the game that actually fully punishes it. Ooh, but he gets hit by the mid. It's like -9, the low stab, but it like pushes back really far. So I'm pretty sure nothing in the game punishes it. I'd have to, if anybody knows, let me know.
Ooh.
Oh, that's the mix-up technically, but hey, if it hits, it hits. But honestly, it's kind of better if they block and they guess wrong on the mix-up. It does get that crushing blow if you're blocking high while it hits you. Back in the corner.
It's where the back 3 low minion of this game starts to appear. When you do back 3 into the leg kebab, if people stand up, that one hit too early, crushing blow comes out entirely. Gets the good read, but one of the harder ones to connect. Surely down 2 into a mix. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's it. Wow, just playing. I mean, you know, we were talking about this whole like tank type of game plan, but that's kind of what Bio did now, like in his own. It was just a really weird way for this variation to play. He just kind of kept him locked on that left side, just slowly walking at him, just abusing forward 2-1, you know, using his like longer normals and just saying, yeah, like you try to hit me, because he knows that he's not really getting jumped against all that much, especially he doesn't have spine burst. Like he can down 2 anti-air, but he just knows that Tweedy's not that kind of player, right? Not the one that's going to jump, tries to like kind of beat you on the ground, play the neutral, which might be something that he's going to have to like reconsider a little bit in this matchup, because he's getting bullied, you know, he's getting bullied by those long range normals. And that forward 2, the double forward slash, that's an 8-frame like far normal. That's really fast.
His arm blades look a bit like bananas. I noticed it in his win pose. It looked like 2 not quite ripe bananas. Still got that shade of green, you know?
I guess so. I'll take your word for it. I'll look for it this time.
Anyway,
I haven't
now
seen
that
a lot
expert
of
analysis is finished, we can now start this next game where we're looking for some immediate damage. Oh dear. Looks like we've had a bit of a crash here. I wonder if we can check out the other spectator perhaps, or whether this is a King of the Hill problem. Oh, we're back. Here we go.
Yeah. I like that it was just during the chop, and then it just ended, and then it just is whatever's past the chop. Uh-oh. This is, oh, look at that cool blur on Garrus. It kind of looks like he's like transporting through time. Another chop! Every time that the stream freezes for a moment, we're gonna just come back and it's gonna be in the middle of getting hit by chop. That's like it's like a superpower, you know? It's just stand power.
Let's see that in some replay.
All right, so
That's gonna be that like first round, man, for Bio. Looking good at least.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty dominant round. I mean, if you hit multiple chops in a single round, that's a lot of damage.
I mean, from what we saw of it.
Yeah.
Slam.
Not a lot of people really think about it, but chop, one of the strongest single special moves in the entire game. It does like as much damage as most specials have to do to spend a bar. So
it's such a sick conversion too, just ending most combos in it, and it can be absolutely outrageous damage, especially with the amp on the end of it. That down 1 to challenge that forward 2. Counter pokes looks to pick up. Yo, Bio had the right idea. Oh, here we go. Oh. Are we going to see the sweep? Is this going to be momentum?
Oh, that adds so much to the Oki of that. You're in perfect command grab range, so you really have to guess. Oh, yep, there's the sweep. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Breaks away, but he's got to guess. All right, didn't get hit by the back 3 low minion.
Oh, he wanted that to counter hit so hard. If Tweedy pressed out of those plus frames, that forward 4 was going to be game over because it would have been counter hit, it would have been KB, and it would have been fatal blow. GG.
And we do see a little bit more of a jump in game. Makes a lot of sense. Caught him waiting for the command grab. It's a pretty hard mix up here. This is I mean, like I said, this is the mix variation, right? You gotta guess. Back in the corner. Oh, flawless blocked it, but didn't punish it. That was very weird. Oh, you're frozen. That's dead.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, another one.
Oh, he did the Garrus combo on Garrus. He did the double down 2 after the freeze to kill Garrus. Wow. Fight fire with fire. Fight time freeze with time freeze. I don't even know what it's called, but that was mean. But it's funny to see that on Garrus, and most people don't take advantage of that interactable. I mean, obviously it's hard because you can't really combo into it, but that was a really good time to use it and a good conversion from it. It does a lot of damage.
And that's going to be that. A really good match there from Bio and a chance to just stay in it. I'm really loving this Baraka, though, gotta say.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think I've ever seen him use this exact variation before. Seems like often he does just go to the like the classic like bone picker type variation, but having this extra like hit of the low stab, I think low stab is an unbelievable move for the character, right? It makes your opponent guess every single time that you touch them. Plus, it's just like a safe on block with pushback move in general, which puts you at the perfect range. But I mean, combining it with the command grab, you get put at a range where like if they try to poke after you do an on-blocked low stab, then you could just command grab them. And if you hit them with a low stab, you amplify it and put them in command grab range. So they're just constantly guessing everything. There's a ton of tick throws, which we haven't even really seen all that much. And there we go. That was the exact situation I was talking about, but this time Tweety reads it. But yeah, there's just so many things you can do with this variation. It is nasty. The overall issue, of course, damage is very low, but if you hit enough mix-ups, it doesn't matter.
But that's always been a way that Bio has been happy to approach a matchup. Like, if it's just about this momentum more than those kind of like big, giant, heavy hits, he's more than prepared to do it. Baraka has got all kinds of different customs that can totally transform how the character gets played. However, at the moment, that's going to be a good round there for Tweedy, getting around on the board. Let's go.
Yeah, when Tweedy finds into his moments, it looks like he's pretty much has been dominating the game. But if Bio gets any sort of momentum, it's looking really hard for him to get out. Because honestly, Garrus's normals, not really the best. They're obviously really solid and like, they're very rewarding. And they have just like good hitboxes in general, but they're not like far footsies normals. But right now, doesn't matter if you get somebody in the loop.
Here we go again. Any opportunity to get damage, we'll take it. That leg kebab, nice knockdown. Ooh, an even nicer counter poke. And that's actually going to be the game. Absolutely, he's dead.
Look how fast that damage adds up. Classic Garrus, doing so much damage with the spikes. And yeah, putting good on board very, very quickly there. After like looking like this might have ended up being a 3-0 set, Tweety's like, nah. All right, time to play for real. Time to hit you with like 3 combos and you die. He's like, how many times did you have to open me up? Oh, like 6 times? What if I have that?
But that's why Garrus can be such a scary pick, is because the reality is he plays the game on a fundamental level extremely well, and he hits like a truck in the right hands. And Tweedy's able to kind of squeeze those extra elements of damage because he does things like body splash into single hit button. If he sees that hit, there's just enough time in between the splash and the single kick, whether it's 3 or 4 or whatever, that he can just do the raw better spikes after that. And it gives him like 40% for a bar, sometimes more. It's absolutely fantastic damage. But Bio now going in with the same variation here. You know, the reality is eventually when you get constantly clipped by a Garrus, he's just going to melt you down. But the last 2 games, he was able to stick true to that kind of constant mix-up effect, and that was as much as it takes.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much a momentum-based match on both sides, right? Oh, I like that. Goes for the sweep, but the delayed wake-up, making it whiff. Baraka's sweep, one of the best in the game. It's really a footsies tool, which not a lot of characters get to use their sweep for. That's crushing blow. No, he saves it. Why did he save the crushing blow? I think you need to do forward to actually get the crushing blow. I'm assuming he was blocking high right there or trying to flawless block, so maybe it wouldn't have been it, but he didn't even try for it.
Ooh, delayed down 3. That's one way to steal a turn and enforce a mixed up. Nice block on the overhead. Anytime there's an overhead in one of these strings, there's going to be that overhead or low mix-up.
Oh.
We just get that fatal blow. Okay.
That's a big risk. I mean, when you're down this much life, the Garrett's fatal blow doesn't give you really anything here, right? Like, yeah, you can sand trap meaty, that's it. So you're still like one hit away from death, and you might just have given up your fatal blow for kind of nothing right there. All right, one more grab could be it too. Oh, didn't punish the roll. Oh, and the 50-50. I don't think the crushing blow is loaded. It is. I was wrong. Very much wrong.
Oh my god, the release block tech to make the jump in and whiff.
And the tick throw coming out finally in the very final moment. I mean, that's like such a sign of a top player, is that you don't see like one option until it literally matters the most. Oh, almost got like armor broken right there.
That's a really, really nice buffer though. Immediate mid, and that's going to bag him a full combo for his trouble. Keeps the corner now, and all it takes is one side switch for Bio to be back in business.
Only 409 damage. Oh gosh, doesn't have another bar, or that almost like would have been it, honestly. Is this a back throw? I think it is. Yep, throw him with the leg. Oh, you have to guess. You have to guess. Good hit confirm right there, actually. Very good hit confirm. Oh no, he's getting hit so much. He's getting hit by everything because he's so afraid of the command grab. Oh no, restand. He jumps over though, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna be it. I think you can break away. You could live maybe. Oh no, he didn't even have these have a bar. Yeah. What did he spend it on right there? Yeah, wow. I could have converted all that into a little bit more. The jumps have been a really big issue now for Bio, and there are some anti-air options for Baraka, but without Spine Burst, it's a little bit... Actually, it's a lot harder, honestly. Down 2 is pretty strong, so I'd like to see some raw down 2s, right, as anti-airs. Forward 2 can work in some further anti-air situations. Down 4, actually, kind of a cool anti-air. He used to be really good in MK9, fun fact.
Ooh, able to whiff punish the chop chop. You don't see that every day.
I know, you usually don't see that. Good block,
nice
safe on block. Oh, he just walked forward. Oh, that's a pretty big whiff. I think you're still safe. I don't think you can actually get punished for that, but it's still pretty big. 112 has a ton of block stun.
More plus frames. Unfortunately, oh, he's in big trouble. Break or no break. Nice
good read. Yep.
That was really smart from Bio to not break there.
Oh, there we go. Down one. Down. Oh, no. He was just barely a little bit too slow, I think, or something like that. Still has an opportunity here. That's it. That's it. Fatal blow. It's done. It's done and dusted, as you say, actually. I stole that from you. And that's going to be it. 3-1 for Biohazard, fishing for the forward 4-4 at the very end of the set. Like I said, saving these reads, these callouts that you just don't see the rest of the set until the very, very end, where it just matters the most. Like, it's so hard to hold on to some of your best tools, but, you know, they stop expecting it. They stop playing at the ranges where you can deal with that. And then you just make the comeback. Yummy. Or tasty.
Dude, the amount of damage he was able to do at the end, that's just shy of 50%. Off a crushing blow into fatal blow, and that's all there is to it. Bio always able to bring forward these new variations that we've seen that variation before. We have seen Baraka players use that. Baraka is always an interesting character because there's all kinds of different variations that Baraka's use, but you rarely have a Baraka player that plays like a whole bunch. There's like one, you'll play Baraka and that's the variation you pick and that's kind of it. It's almost like the Baraka community has a bunch of like different like sub-communities or something, but at the end of the day, though, Bio sticking true to that just relentless mix. And that's a scary character to play, because, like, even if you can get a good guess and maybe you can punish him, mostly on the command grab, less so leg kebab, Bio doesn't care. He'll keep doing it. He will do it.
Yeah, it's... I mean, I think the way that he used this variation was very, very cool. And, I mean, this has obviously been a variation that's been, like, conceptualized since Customs, because it is the double mix variation, right? But it requires you to do so many, like, mix-ups, right? You don't do almost any damage off of, like, any single mix-up. The command grab's, like, 120. The low hit is, like, even if you spend a bar, it's, like, 150 or something like that. So you gotta just keep opening your opponent over and over. But he's so good with the normals, you know? He's so good at opening up even almost without this, that it just works out very, very well. Also, the fact that he's able to convert a lot of his normal hits when he needed to. So I'm glad to see Bio constantly just showing us more and more new things. And honestly, I don't think we'll ever see him stop trying to innovate, which is perfect. I would never want to see him stop. But Tweety going down into the lower bracket, very first round of the tournament. A little bit of a surprise, but it's kind of hard to say that it's anything's a surprise here, as there's so many good players, as we're going to see even round 2. The Mighty Unjust is going to be taking on Biohazard on the other side of the upper semifinals. And now Ice Scorpion and Tweety, first round of the lower bracket. That's rough life.
It's just the way things are in North America now. As we can see off stream, Javier was able to defeat Guillotine 3-0. So that means that Javier's moving on into the next round of losers. But I think our winners' side matches are fitting of just how, I think, high level the NA side of Open Series has now become. Now, before we go to a break, I want to remind everyone that if you want to find out more information on how to get involved in PS4 tournaments, you go to compete.playstation.com. That's it. If you're on YouTube or Twitch, you should be able to scroll down and click a little button that takes you to the competition center. So you haven't even got to type anything in. Couldn't be easier. How about that? We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we'll find out who's going to be in winners finals. See you in a few minutes.
Jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
PlayStation.
We're done with the first round of matches here at the PS4 Tournament's Open Series North American side for Mortal Kombat 11. And now it's time to see who is going to be making it into the upper bracket finals and kind of into this top four that's all important in these monthly finals to be able to make that money. But we're starting off with El Kukui taking on Aztec, and then afterwards the Mighty Unjust versus Biohazard while we wait for some of these lower bracket matches to play out.
But the matches are ones that we've seen a whole bunch over time, and I'm excited for them because of it. We have El Kukui versus Aztec. I think it could be Cetrion versus Kotal Khan, but Kotal can definitely fight Cetrion, at least with what we've seen from Aztec versus Unjust in the past. And he's been able to do quite well, and it's kind of forced other characters almost. And then afterwards, Mighty Unjust versus Bio. So does Bio go with the Kano? Are we going to see more of that Baraka? Was the Baraka just Tweedy exclusive? There are so many questions when it comes to who Bio plays that you generally have no concrete answer, I think, over who he's going to pick and when. He can sometimes wake up one morning and go, I think I'm going to use Rambo today. And that would just be Biohazard in the tournament. But we'll talk about him in a second, because it's Aztec versus El Kukui up next.
Yeah. Although, before we talk about that, you say use Rambo. I still want to see Rambo. I haven't seen anybody use Rambo since.
He got a bit of buffs. He got some buffs.
Yeah, let's bring out the Rambo again. But yeah, that's of course, probably for later. Maybe the Mighty Unjust has. Oh wait, I'm sorry, we're not at the Mighty Unjust yet. We're at El Kukui. Maybe no, neither of them are gonna use Rambo. I'm not even gonna pretend that they would consider it. Of course, El Kukui has a bunch of characters, but definitely goes to kind of the more top tier choices. Probably gonna go for Cetrion up against the choice of Aztec being almost without a doubt Kotal Khan. Again, I don't think I've ever seen him use any other character, but he's very good at getting in on zoners, so definitely could stand a chance in this matchup. This is one that these two have played quite a bit in the past, right? They're two of the classic Open Series players, and they do kind of tend to go out about the same area in a lot of these brackets, which is maybe just below the top three, getting that fourth place spot a decent amount. Of course, they've been higher. El Kukui, of course, is a champion. Immediately going to that Cetrion, not even a question. So Aztec, probably I would have to guess using the cat variation, but we'll have to see if he ever comes back from wherever he is.
I think giving it some thought at the moment, perhaps. Sometimes you can think about what variation to take. So Aztec has decided to go for... Clearly this Robocop exists to deal with characters that he does not want to fight as Kotal. Surely Cetrion has to be one of them. Because back in the spring cleaning days, it was different. But now, I think this is going to be a different case. Being able to just counter zone Cetrion, that's why Robocop gets picked here. So let's see.
This is the same variation that Aztec beat in the first round of the tournament. That is, how weird is that? It's like he defeated them and then stole their character, which I guess we'll see if it works. Go with the blue Robocop, the light blue Robocop, kind of like the Easter colors Robocop.
I wonder how long he's been playing Robocop though, because he's got all that basic equipment. He's only got the blue. I almost feel like he's got the blue because it's the only customization he has.
To be fair, I've played a lot of Robocop, and I don't have any customizations for him either.
That's true. That is very fair. But right now, he's getting rushed down. Unfortunately, I think he tried to do short hop into charge there. He's trying it again.
Yep. I mean, I appreciate this attempt, and he's honestly getting a lot of damage just with the low auto 9, but he lost so much life at the beginning of this round that it's like almost not mattering. And he's kind of making it back. Oh, no, doesn't get all 3 hits. Oh, okay, back in this for sure. Has Fatal Blow. I think it's going to be a raw Fatal Blow. I think we're going to see it. I feel it in my bones.
He's showing a lot of respect just in case. Chip damage of the auto 9.
Oh, that's Chip. Oh, no, he didn't spin the bar.
Why didn't he amp it?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Wow, he made the comeback. That's not what I expected at all. Wow. Okay, so maybe this I want to say this Robocop maybe practiced, but honestly, it was mostly just like charges as whip punishes and then low shots, which it works.
Do you want to know what saved him in that round? 1100 health.
1100 health is right. You're totally right. Immediately. And there we go. There's the instant air charge to punish the Hell's Wrath. Is this gonna be a real counter pick? This is really interesting. I mean, yeah, the damage being lowered just slightly from Cetrion, you know, on chip and such like that, and then her having less life, and then him having more life, all together just leads to a really tall mountain to climb as far as damage. He just, oh my god. By the way, he blocked the plus on block amplified tornado and then did reversal low auto 9. Like, what a move.
Yeah, that's so much chip. Laying it rock. Yo, El Kakoi putting the life on the line in this game. Waiting for the poke. That's that low profiling down 4. The Cobra Assault Cannon.
Oh my god. Oh, he just sat there. He just sat there in the corner. He didn't move. He just waited. You're under arrest, dirtbag.
I almost think that he was just content having his back in the wall because it means that his opponent can be kept far away. And at close range, that down 4 can be a pretty good button. The mid, which we didn't really see at all there. But anything into the Cobra Assault Cannon, I know you can duck in some of those situations, but it really, that Robocop in some cases can be one giant knowledge check. And we got to see in that first round, that 1100 health kept Aztec in the match. If this was pre-patched, they'd lost that round. Oh, Jackie.
Ooh, this...
Nope.
Go too far. Okay, a little bit before, considering going back and forth. Now, this is... I mean, this is a pick that still can kind of hurt here. Obviously, a lot more damage, right? So that's going to be a little bit easier to get through the 1100 health. But there are a lot of options. Like, for example, there's still the upwards auto 9 in this variation, right? You don't lose it at all, which is a really, really good air control tool. Plus, having the air charge, right? If your opponent leaps at you, you just jump back and charge. And you're like, I don't care. What does it matter to me that you're in the air? Thanks for the free hit. So this could be really interesting. You know, this might not work out exactly as El Kakoi wants. Is Robocop the new meta? That's the question. Oh no, we're getting a little of these little freezes. We didn't see that this was just the observers. You know,
no, we
happens sometimes.
We have got multiple observers. We have multiple observers, and we've changed. There we go. Bam, we're good. Oh no! We'll change to the next one. We'll change to the next one.
Yeah, we'll figure out as it's going on. But luckily, this is the players, right? So that's really all that matters here. Is that the players are having a good time? Hey, it's Murphy. I like seeing him with his helmet off. Is there a variation option to have him with no helmet?
Yes, actually, I'm pretty sure.
I feel like I've never seen that, but that's really cool if there is. And if it's not, there should be.
I think you can. I think I've seen it before. Ooh.
Ooh, nice sweep.
Very much so.
But that's not gonna matter.
It's gonna hurt.
Bonk. Kicked him right in the helmet. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why this is going to work out. That damage, I mean, look at that. No way to break that at all. That was just exactly what you want to get out of a character, to somebody who's got 1100 health.
Significant punish right there, too. Being able to get anything into flamethrower, creating that situation. Grab versus button. This Robocop just looking nice. And the thing about Robocop is he's a very simple character. So if you are playing him for specific matchups, I mean, oh, he was looking for the wake up, looking for KB. Back to back down one though, swinging a bit too hard there, Chef.
Oh yeah, and paying for it pretty heavily. Oh, just getting over. I like this. I like this usage of the charge in general so far from Aztec today. This is really interesting. I mean, it's funny because oh, well, that's going to be that. But as I was saying that, you know, I was saying that I didn't think that we were going to see Aztec play any of the character, but, you know, this is clearly a practice character with a clear goal in mind, and it worked very well against the Cetrion. Still, you know, one of the best characters in the entire game, despite any nerfs. So having that counter pick in mind is going to be very, very important. And now, you know, we might see the switch back to Kodal if Aztec is feeling confident with Kodal up against Jackie. And then, you know, it's just whoever wins the first game wins the counter pick war overall if they do this back and forth switch, which we see super, super often in Mortal Kombat 11 tournaments in general. But that's what 3 out of 5 is good for. And so we'll see. We'll see if this is the switch back to Kodal. But I don't know if Kodal's really enjoy playing this matchup either. Yeah, it looks like we're seeing the switch pretty immediately.
I know that Aztec has had a very tough time beating Unjust Jackie with Kosal, but obviously different player, different matchup. So if we're looking at Robocop or Kotal, probably feels more confident rocking the Kotal because it's his favorite, it's his main, it's who he's got the most experience with. However, El Kukui, if he puts on that crazy offense, then really who knows how far we can go with this matchup. The Robocop, though, being able to at least get that first win. I mean, that's something that he's able to show now, that he can pick Robocop against Citron, and it's going to probably be a little bit better for him than Kotal was. So, information more than anything.
Oh, starting off with the Quantum Maul. Oh, but big combo. Getting the full knockdown. Alright, just going to take the block. And yeah, I think he's using his kind of classic variation. Just using his Twitter name or whatever it is.
Ooh, oh! Frames. Lovely prediction, though, the airborne blast, just to stop you from advancing. Knows that Aztec really wants to press here. Stop Jackie from just doing what she wants all the time. Uh-oh.
Oh, just ducks under it, just barely. Oh, yeah. I like the attempt, but, you know, just not quite enough. If it wasn't punished, that was a way back into the game, but aside from that, you're just going to get basically kill the damage over time no matter what. So, worth taking the risk, I think. Just didn't end up paying off. Ooh! Is this going to be the armor breaker? Nope, no. Nice assumption that there actually wasn't going to be a breakaway there. It's so scary to break away against Kotal, right?
I mean, it really can be. I mean, he's one of the only characters that can do like a true 50% if you break.
Especially when you get hit by Crushing Blow into Crushing Blow in the same combo, you're just like, yeah, let's go to the next round.
Yeah, or the next game. We'll just pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah.
Confirm. Lovely confirm.
Yeah, used up a lot of resources in this game, though. You know, Fatal Blow, the down 2 Crushing Blow, all very, very important, but still has a few of them. Still hanging on to a few of them. Still has the forward 1-2-2. I think that's the string. The punish counter hit one, which we don't actually see all that often for some reason.
Ooh. Wow, the wake up 2 is going to just miss completely. Allowing an opening here for El Kukui. This change to Jackie. Been really good for him so far.
Get off me.
No flawless block. That's it, guaranteed.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, opt not to flawless block that because they're like, sure, it'll be a little bit of pushback, but there's a lot of good ways to bait the flawless block right there, so it's a little bit scary. Or maybe it was just mistimed, who knows. Oh, almost gets the whip punish. Oh, the raw unblockable.
Oh, you tried that, yeah, so hard.
Yeah, that's going to be a big issue here is that the AA options from Kotal really not all that strong, right? You can jab, but you're so tall, too, that it kind of makes it a little bit more difficult. You kind of have to do everything preemptively. But it's pretty clear that neither of the options that Aztec has are particularly good at fighting Jackie. Or just, you know, at least isn't ready to fight Jackie with the Robocop. Looks like a little bit of a newer character, obviously did its job, but this seems to be maybe a little bit of an issue matchup, which is, you know, not uncommon. Not a lot of characters super good at fighting Jackie. Reason why she's one of the better characters in the game. But just needs to, I guess, find his moments a little bit better. Easier said than done.
Going straight back in for the Kotal as expected. It's kind of rare that you'll even see Aztec change away from Kotal Khans. The fact that he even had a Robocop was a bit of a treat, I think. But you could see it specifically being effective against Cetrio. Now, he has got a different customization, so is this a different variation? Yeah, command grab. So he's traded the Air Cat.
Makes sense. He wasn't getting any mileage out of it, really. And almost the most important thing about this command grab is that it's a really good combo ender. If you get the opportunity to, right, it's going to give you the potential, like side switch if you want, or just the extra damage boost or whatnot. And also just the threat of the command grab is always there. So even if you don't ever use it, your opponent might be trying to jump out a little bit more than usual.
Already starting in. All guns blazing. Half that life is gone for Aztec. Oh no, tries to go for the command grab in a very unusual situation. I mean, you can tell it's not really something that he uses all that much.
Yeah, it's, I mean, when we see him have it, like I said, he doesn't actually use it all that often. He just uses the fear of it more, and oh no, he actually ended up paying for the fact that he brought it, using it to try to get the combo, gets broken away from and fully punished. Now, match point for El Kukui. We'll see if it ends up paying off. Or maybe just should have stuck with the air cat.
There's the tick. Okay. What are we going to get from this? Damage buff, stage 1. But now, looking to squeeze out a down 1, but a down 1 on block into another button. El Kakoi's going to blow that up happily. And now as he gets a knockdown, what comes next? Ooh, blow poke into the ball. More damage than you might expect, and Fatal Blow has become active.
Oh, and that is enough, I think? Oh, no, not quite, but yeah, there's no way to get past that. You just kind of have to give up at that point. Maybe like Crushing Blow, Dash Punch to punish it on startup would have been able to get rid of it, but you don't really get any Oki off that, and there was such a life deficit. Yeah, I think you just kind of have to give that one up. And so Aztec still has a way to fight back, even this one up.
Punish. Wow, just takes the throw. I think he could have got more.
Yeah, at the very minimum, like 1-2 should be able to punish it. Oh, good flawless block. I actually didn't know you could flawless block the 4-3-4.
Yeah, people rarely do.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a string you even see all that often. So, I mean, it's good, obviously. Used a good amount, but still a little bit rare.
Wait a minute. Even if this combo doesn't kill, the Sun Ray will come out.
Dash punch. Oh, no. Yeah, that was definitely the attempt right there, right? You got to dash punch. You got to hope it crushing blows. But it was just a little bit too close, I think, to get the crushing blow. Because getting rid of that sun was the only option. But that means we're going to a game 5.
I really like that play. So that's the scary thing about fighting Aztec, though, is that even if the combo doesn't kill, you've always got that kind of dread in your mind where it's like, okay, he's going to do a full combo here. You know the Sun Ray is coming, so you need to start planning your strategy around the inevitable, which is it's going to get summoned here. Now, what do I do to get out of it? It can be a real checkmate. There's such little that you can do, especially if the crushing blows are gone that can get rid of it or whatever it is. And now, coming back in with the Cetrion for this final matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense from El Kakui. Obviously, Aztec was trying to get away from having to play this matchup by going to that Robocop, but now that he's locked in, he just doesn't have that opportunity to counterpick. And weirdly enough, this is actually a matchup that I've heard a lot of Cetrions complain about. It's like one of the very few where they kind of all agree that there's some annoying things that he can do in the matchup. Not to necessarily say that it's like a winning matchup for Kotal, but I've heard some people say that. I don't know if they can be trusted, but I think it's just the fact that he's got such long range, he can kind of counter hit you, and the cat is a great move. The cat is honestly an extremely strong move.
And there's that element of damage. Kotal Khan touches you with almost anything in this matchup, and it's pretty much the damage that Cetrion gets in a B&B outside of Crushing Blow. So Aztec is going to have to play with a certain degree of fearlessness, and there's that knockdown. Lovely.
Ooh, just the 4-2 by itself and a stagger. That's a pretty rare way to use that. Checking back with the cat. Keeping him in the corner. Ooh, that wall barely hit. That was almost punished. He uses the teleport. Backdash, backdash, backdash. Oh, I like this. Just standing in here healing, forcing some sort of action out of El Kakui. Oh, and the parries. Oh, look at this. So efficient at getting around all of this zoning. Oh, doesn't commit. That could have been a lot of damage. Whoa, down force underneath it to interrupt. I didn't know you could do that, but clearly he did. Aztec has the fatal blow. Oh, never mind. Not going to matter.
There must be balance.
And I think that with the pressure that's being added up here, El Kakoi spending meter, but the regenerating meter is going to make things perfectly fine. One bar's already back. We're going to see that second in due time. I like that. You know, they're down 3 the check. Regular teleport is such a common answer there for Cetrion. If they do the far version, it costs both defensive bars. But if they do the regular one, it's a bit more unsafe in theory, but can be a really tidy corner escape to just allow this full screen game to continue. Ouch. Ooh.
Oh, wow. Just barely outranged that forward, too. Like, just by, like, a pixel. But now he's going to get the knockdown, get that much closer, and look at those wave dashes in. Now 2 hits, and you're all the way in the corner, and this is the scariest place to be. There is defensive bars, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did see a teleport out pretty soon. Although he does build back some space some other ways.
Oh, there's that barrier. Hang on a minute. Oh, we look for the whiff punish. Jeff, he was so close. No, can't pick it up.
Oh, there's a short hop. It's finally hitting this time. Fatal blow available. There's meter. Are we going to see a cat? I think it has to be a cat right here.
Lets it go. That's Chip.
Oh, the grab. I don't think it's enough, right? Just barely not. But yeah, avoiding that is going to be so difficult. And so in the end, it did come down to the counter pick war. But unfortunately, there was 2 losses in a row for Aztec. So even though he won the first game, he ended up losing the counter pick war overall. And honestly, a really huge part of that I think kind of led to that last game not going his way is that he did end up switching to the command grab variation earlier and locked into it. So not only did he have to play the matchup that he didn't want to play as much, but he had to do it in with a variation that wasn't even as optimal for him, right? If he has the air cat, he can jump over the Hell's Wrath, he can jump over the boulders and then get a punish, but he just wasn't able to do any of that. He really locked himself into that, and I mean, the command grab kind of didn't even really work all that well for him to begin with, so just didn't end up working out. But I do love the fact that we got to see the RoboCop that looked really, really good. It fell to the Jackie, but, you know, that's not a huge issue. It did what it wanted to do, and that's really why you bring it in.
I think it's just demonstration over what Cetrion's still going to be able to do as well, right? I mean, she doesn't have the health that she once had and stuff, but Cetrion's still Cetrion. And she can still be an equally as oppressive character. And now, Aztec, at the very least, we're getting that information that he's starting to play other characters, looking at those potential problematic matchups, at least for him, and the experimentation is continuing. So the RoboCop able to beat that Cetrion, changing to Cetrion for the final game though, because there's no way Aztec can lose and then go back to RoboCop because it was a game 5. It shows the importance of keeping that win streak, you know, winning that first game or whatever it is.
Yeah. Also, just having a character that you're pretty comfortable locking into that can't really be counterpicked is a huge deal. But when you commit to a character like this super heavily, I mean, he did really well in the matchup, right? It was pretty close, but overall just ended up playing the match he didn't want to. And so El Kukui going to be moving up into the upper bracket finals, and now it's time to see who ends up meeting in between the Mighty Unjust and Biohazard. Yeesh. Super high level match right there. I don't know who they're going to use or what variations they're going to use. That should be interesting. But also as a note, down in the lower bracket, Tweety 3-0 against iScorpion. Don't know what characters were used there. Probably understood what Tweety used. So we're going to see Tweety versus Aztec. In the past, that seems to be kind of a tough matchup for Aztec, and we'll see if he can overcome it for once. But I have a feeling that there's a good chance we're going to see Tweety a little bit later on. So Aztec really wanted him in the last match. Unfortunately, now he's got to go down there, take on Tweety.
High chance to see him in that top 4, and I know Tweedy has historically looked pretty good against Aztec, but they have had some quite close matches in the past as well. Very much a battle of the big bodies, if you will. But now we get to see a matchup that has just continued forever and ever. Mighty Unjust versus Bio. So really, it does come down to character. They both have a deep understanding of how each other plays, but at the same time, that matchup will be so different depending on whether it's Sub-Zero, Kano, Baraka, Jackie, Cetrion, Nightwolf, and that's just to name a few. There could be others too. And then it's what variations of those characters, because Bio he plays the single most variations, I think, of anybody in the community. The amount he brings to competitive, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think if you consider like multiple variations for single characters, it seems like Bio has pretty much like 4 or 5 variations for like every character that he plays, even the more obscure ones, right? Like he's got multiple variations for Collector, he's got multiple variations for Shiva, and he has to play those characters in a little bit, but every single character, I mean, he's got a million different options. I think if you're overall count variations, it might go to like Unjust, just because Unjust has played like 30 characters in tournament, and that's just the classic Unjust style. But regardless, it's pretty close, and it's a really big toss-up. But it does kind of come down to that, right? Like it's going to be one person knows more characters, the other one knows more variations overall. So it's probably going to be like a variation counter pick. And I feel like these two haven't played in a little bit, which is pretty interesting. Bio did do really well against this Jackie with the Snakebite Kano recently, but it looks like today might be a Baraka day, and I didn't see what variation he chose, but we do know, of course, that the
same one.
Oh wow, surprising! If we ever see Baraka against upgraded just Jackie, you just assume there's Spine Burst, right?
Very much so, because it's a really good anti-air, where it normally is. I know Spine Burst can be a bit inconsistent, unfortunately, but this variation in particular is interesting against Jackie because you're not going to be able to get those gigantic punishes. He just must have this faith in keeping the momentum on his side. And I guess we'll see it.
Well, Biohazard, I believe, can make anything work. So we'll see. Oh, immediate read. What is that unbelievably hard read to start things off? That just seems unfair. I don't know how anybody can get that. Ooh, nice. Gets the conversion. That is another nice thing about having the command grab. Flawless block, too, on the third hit. That is plus on block, and you can flawless block it, so a lot of knowledge there. For some reason, Mighty Unjust extremely good at fighting Baraka. Weird.
His flawless blocks in all matchups seem to be just incredible. They always have been Mighty Unjust. It's just his knowledge.
Ooh, oh, no. Yeah, went for the big back to overhead and paying the ultimate price for it. Bio was up a lot in that match, though. I mean, he manages to hold the life lead until pretty much that last moment. Ouch. Ooh, reads the breakaway, too.
Yeah, very much so. Gets a really nice amount of damage on deck, and we can start to mix with blocks. Bio's trying to press after that, though. That's risky business. Doesn't want to quite give up his turn yet.
The unblockable back one. There we go, not pressing buttons that time. Oh, no.
The game.
I think he must have tried to do something like forward two or something along those lines, but like he was holding the wrong direction because he didn't realize that he was going to get crossed up, or maybe he held it and it didn't get crossed up like in time, but he just got like a raw standing two, I think that was, and just didn't really know what to do afterwards. So overall, you know, the first round was looking really good with that Baraka, but the second round just looked like it didn't really have the defensive options. I think I'd like to see a switch to maybe a spine burst variation. As much as I do like this variation, it really depends that you just like lock down the opponent like the entire round, right? Like you just never let them out of the pressure, never let them out of the mix-ups, and that is a lot easier said than done when your opponent's really good at knowing exactly how to defend against it. But he switched around. Yeah, that's going to be a spine burst variation, I think. It's called Bone Appetit. I didn't see all the moves. Oh, it's the Chef Baraka. Let's do it. I'm a big fan of that.
I recognize the Chef hat anywhere. It's basically Bone Picker with a new name. But to be fair, the leg kebab, those mix-ups, Unjust did a phenomenal job of just blocking them. Anytime there was a mix-up enforced, he blocked it and then was able to take his turn. And the rest of it was as we all saw. So a nice showing, but I think the spine burst is going to be more important for this matchup.
Yeah, I agree too. I would like to see a variation that maybe has Spine Burst and Leg Kebab and no Command Grab. I mean, I know that, honestly, Bio loves having the Command Grab, but really, the Command Grab hasn't been working all that well for him, right? Like, he landed that one really sick tick throw against Tweety earlier in the day, but aside from that, he's mostly been using his conversion. So if he had, like, maybe all of those and then, like the blade charge to get the same conversions that he could get, I think that would be a really strong variation for him. But, you know, he just likes having command grabs. That's the Biohazard style.
There's the advance again, but consistently putting himself minus but not punishable and getting hit anyway. He just doesn't want to give up his turn. Unfortunately, yeah, he's done. Has to push forward in some way, but with that goop on the floor and a couple of %, you're toast. Nice sandals.
Oh, down 3. That's an interesting move to poke with, but it worked perfectly. Getting that forward too. Wanted that extra little bit of range. Oh, that was as preemptive as it gets. Jumped into the hitbox of the Spine Burst, but overall, not a lot of reward, and then just finds another opening afterwards anyway. The switch to the Spine Burst usually works out pretty well, but just hasn't found any really good opportunities to even play defense here. Just getting hit over and over.
There's going to be damage on the floor. The existence of those Triborg bombs, though, certainly doesn't help Biohazard situation. And yeah, that's rough. That's a rough matchup. Now, I feel like he might go to Kano. I feel like this is going to be a totally different character because the Baraka just hasn't worked here.
Yeah, the problem is I think it's a little bit harder to be proactive, and usually I feel like that's how he ends up winning that matchup with Kano, is he'll meet Jackie in the air preemptively and like air to air her and then get a bunch of damage, or he'll, you know, be the one who like just locks you down with mix-ups and just resets you over and over. And especially having to give up some of the mix-up potential for the anti-air means that you're not really winning neutral, you just have a defensive option. And yeah, it is going to be the switch back to the Kano. I didn't see which variation it was.
Snakebite.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's something that, I mean, like I said, we've seen it work very well before. He has tried the other one, the more like the one with the biopole, but I think this is a really good one for this matchup.
And we'll see if it works out, because Snakebite, the biggest thing is conversion damage. Air-to-air Kano balls, being able to hit down one Snakebite. Against Jackie, you can imagine it landing a lot more, but if anything else, it is just basic conversions. You're going to be swinging out those buttons, you're going to be contesting with what Jackie brings forward. And if you can turn anything into a full combo, lovely armor breaker, and again, just like that, look at this. Oof, 31%.
Yeah, just for any small hit, you get so much damage. Oh no, ducks the spit. That's
Yeah,
something that
forward one.
yeah, you know that Might Unjust knows that. I mean, they've played this matchup against each other so many times. Oh my gosh. He put the damage over time on the floor and did 1-1-2 into grease kick, and it did 260 damage.
And then he got knocked down and stood up into even more.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, 260 damage, that's like meter damage, and he spent no meter. That's amazing.
Even more of it, unfortunately. Back into the same situation, it seems, Chef. Now Might Unjust on a swift match point. Bio has been thoroughly overwhelmed so far, and really nothing has worked. Might have to take a little bit of reflection. What is going to be the pick of the day? Because so far, this Jackie of Unjust is proving to be too much of a problem to conquer.
Oh, tried to flawless block right there, for sure. The breakaway's not going to help, and yeah, that was just a rough set overall. I don't think it really mattered what variation he picked. He just didn't seem to, like, have any answer to Jackie today. Just a Mighty Unjust playstyle, you know? Like, he was just making all the right reads. His defense was super on point. Maybe he just really wanted to go and meet his brother in the upper bracket finals. But yeah, that was, I mean, it was almost not like even like he played badly. You know, he just got run over by the offense. Sometimes it happens, especially when it's the Mighty Unjust. But overall, I do like the fact that he was committing to the Baraka. I hope he's going to use it throughout the rest of the tournament, just to keep on trying out that like kind of mixed variation. And I like the fact that he went back to the Kano, because we have seen that work, but maybe a little bit too late. Maybe he should have started off with it. Still has an opportunity now, going down to the lower bracket though, so we'll see.
There's just not really much we can, I think, pick apart from that. Biohazard, no matter what character, what variation he picked, he gave it a good go, but the reality was Unjust just had that kind of next layer on what he should do, when he should do it. Jackie has the tools to be crazy unpredictable anyway, and Bio could not get a comfortable lock on what to do in the matchup. But it does mean now that Javier versus Bio off stream and Aztec versus Tweedy taking place as we speak. And it's a battle of the twin brothers, El Kakoi versus Mighty Unjust for winners finals. To be honest, we're probably going to get Jackie and Citron again. That's what my gut instinct tells me, although they could always have some wild card picks against each other, because you never know. But yeah, winners finals. We're about to close into the final stretch of this tournament.
Yeah, and that's exciting. That's got to feel good, right? To be up against your twin brother in the upper bracket finals of. Yeah, a month. Well, yeah. Well, imagine if there was somebody here who had some experience with that. But yeah, and,
I don't know.
somebody.
I don't know what. I'm pointing at my action figures. That's clearly what I'm pointing at. Anyway, that's a good matchup so far, and a good matchup up and coming. El Kakoi versus Mighty Unjust will be happening after our break. Before we go to it, I'd like to remind everyone that you can take part in PS4 tournaments, get involved in all the games they cover. We've had Cold War here, we've had Soul Calibur 6, just to name a few. You can find even more so on compete.playstation.com, and it is as simple as that. Everything's done through the PS4, self-explanatory process, and we'd love to see you. We're going to go for a quick break, and when we return, this tournament, the monthly finals of May for North America, reaches its conclusion. So what are you waiting for? Stick around.
No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.
It's time to conclude the North American side of the PS4 Tournament's Open Series here, and it has been a really strong day of matches, both in Europe and North America, but we've got to close it out, right? There's still quite a few matches left, though, so no worries. You know, we're not the end yet. It's time to see, first of all, who's going to make it into the grand finals, as we've got a matchup between two twin brothers, El Kukui and the Mighty Unjust. I always say it, but it's unfair to have a trading partner that you get to play offline with all the time like that, and we'll see who can come out on top. I believe the current record in Open Series history is a 100% win record for the Mighty Unjust, but we'll see. And then down in the lower bracket, Biohazard and Javier are battling it out to see who wins against or out of Aztec and Tweety. None of those finished yet, so I'm assuming the Aztec-Tweety match is taking quite a while.
I can only imagine it's going down to a game 5, to be honest with you. And the way they play, it can definitely go the distance. But El Kukui versus Mighty Unjust, this is where things get, interesting to me because, sorry, frog in my throat at the worst time apparently. But if we have Cetrion and Jackie being both of these, the brothers' kind of main characters, I think, in tournament recently, it opens up a situation where you ask, do we see more of the norm? Or is it because they're brothers that play together a lot? Is this where they start to pick weird characters? Because you're going to try and go against the grain, maybe you're going to try and take them by surprise. Do you know how prepared your brother is for you? Like, there's so many questions that you ask, and it actually looks like the people narrowly think that Unjust is going to take this. So that's an element which I find even more fitting, considering they're twins, that's almost a 50-50 here.
Well, it's definitely a little bit of a tough 50-50, I think, for El Kukui. Like I said, I don't think he's actually defeated his brother in the Open Series yet, but you know what? Now is as good of a time as ever. And usually when these two players play, which has not been that many times, surprisingly. It's not super often, but they usually go, pretty serious against each other. Neither one goes to the super fun picks, which we've seen before with for example, K-Top and H-Dope. They end up, or over in Europe that is, they end up kind of playing their secondaries and just they know each other really well. So yeah, we're not going to go for this counter pick game. Let's just do this. But here, it's no mercy. Usually no mercy for family. They're like, you know what? You got to earn your spot if you're going to make it to the top, or whatever, I guess just the top spot, because now they're both guaranteed top 3, which is going to be a really nice deal for both of them, considering this is the monthly finals. There's a lot of money on the line.
Definitely. The difference between third place and first is a couple of hundred. So, right, Mighty Unjust is going in with the Kano. I think this is the chemical burn variation. It's the only Kano we ever see him use, because it's kind of like the popular one, right? When those that don't really grind Kano, but they do play this. Now it's Jackie. We've seen that Jackie's able to make the spit whiff, which was a huge game changer when it was Mighty Unjust versus Biohazard. So what's it going to be here, actually? Or is he telling him to pick Jackie? I'm very confused. This could mean many things.
Yeah, it's especially confusing because we know that they play a lot of the same characters, which is just a lot of the really good characters to use. Of course, Jackie being one of those. So it will be the Jackie pick. It was just maybe a little bit more consideration. And so, again, we're kind of seeing the opposite matchup here, like we saw with Aztec earlier, stealing his previous opponent's character. Now it's going to be Mighty Unjust defeating Biohazard and then immediately going to Kano and then having to play the opposite matchup, as weird as that is. But we'll see if he gets any more success. Yeah, it is going to be that same matchup, or sorry, that same variation that we assumed with the bio pull, the lumbar check, and the acid.
But I think the chemical burn on its own is going to make kind of ducking the spit a much bigger risk, to be honest with you. Being able to just enforce that and get a lot more damage than you might expect. There's that breakaway, wake up grab, and now it's party time. If El Kukui can't fight his way out of this corner. Oh no, Ooh. Here we go, it begins.
All right, good way to fight out of the corner. Maybe you could even jump off that just to make sure that you get out. That's not a combo, right? Was that just a hard read?
I think it was a hard read. Being on hit from that far away, I imagine really. Try to press, and there's the lighter. Give us your loiter.
Nice bit of attacker. Round 2.
All right, so looking strong, but this is a variation that a lot of people have considered to be very, very good. Obviously, Jackie, maybe considered a little bit better still, but Oh, nice. The zoning working out pretty well, I say that, as he immediately gets punished for throwing a knife.
Ooh, and that one hurts. That's going to hurt a lot. Kano, even without it, 41% damage. Trying to fish for counter hit right there.
And so many chemical burns hitting. A lot. I mean, this is a great move, but just getting a lot of mileage out of it. And oh, the challenge, saying like, oh yeah, you want to punish me for this biopool? Come walk into the fire, see what happens. Oh, that might be it.
Unbreakable. Unbreakable.
Oh no, he didn't have a bar. He didn't have a bar. Oh, no. What a flawless block.
Acid. It's acid everywhere, Chef.
Yeah, I know. If it's not going to be for the special move, it's going to be through just the up 3 or whatever that is. So really nice play. And it's kind of a unique way, I think, that we're seeing Mighty Unjust play this Kano variation. Kind of playing it more from a mid-range that we're used to seeing. Usually just kind of like runs all over people, just keeps them in constant pressure. But he's just sitting there. He's like, all right, let's see if you mess up. You know, I'm going to do these like max range bio pulls. Let's see if you can punish them. But just so far hasn't really done anything that's been punished that heavily. A lot of hard reads, though.
Sub-Zero.
Okay, so now it looks like it's going to be sub. Yes, it will be Sub-Zero for El Kakoi. So the Kano, this is another different situation, right? The second a character gets larger, I know it's not really the larger the character, the more they are prone to getting hit by the forward one string, because some characters that are really big can still make the spit whiff, but if it's kind of a nice normal hurtbox thing, that's where the spit gets a little bit more likely. So that's the whole game plan. That's why this variation exists. That's why Mighty Unjust has picked it. It's to put you in the corner and just set play you to death.
Yeah, and, you know, that's kind of the strategy of Sub-Zero also. We do see El Kakui, who run into this matchup a lot, actually. You know, obviously, sometimes we see Unjust play Kano, often we see Biohazard play Kano, and he does like to go to sub, because you are both just trying to mix, and sub's damage, pretty significant. Oh, that was a bad hit confirm.
Oh, and he keeps it all guaranteed.
Oh, the fire's still there. You can't swing into it. Oh, that's so dirty.
Another confirm. Full combo. In this case, there's a breaker. Almost genuinely surprised there wasn't a back one there into chemical burn. Oh, God.
Oh.
That's it.
What? Yep. Just, I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to call it, but I'm never gonna be able to redo that. If we watch MK11 for like 10 more years, I'd still get it wrong, whether or not Fatal Blow is gonna kill. All right, gonna try to fight his way out of the corner. Do not want to be here. Find any way out. That's a good way. Gonna side switch. Probably yeah, amplified slide. Ooh. That was a nice little pickup right there. Forced him to break away, which is obviously extremely good at Sub-Zero. Now what? You can't break away this. Wow. Unjust is just super confident in throwing out those like max range bio pulls. For sure, at the very minimum, there's going to be a slide punish at this point. Or just a raw slide. Don't need to punish anything.
In this case, just demonstrating fearlessness, but Mighty Unjust, who wins this round, will be 2-0 up. Oh, there's that counter hit. A lot more damage where that came from. Give me the pull. And now, expecting you to break. A break comes a lot later, which opens up Mix Central.
Ooh. Oh, wake up down 2. Probably expecting a command grab or something, but overall gets a little bit of damage. But still, look at this. The damage over time is on El Kakui. Just need to find one more solid hit. Waits patiently for the plus frames. That's going to be it. Even if there was breakaway, could have done it. Guaranteed. And he's going to do it. The classic. One of the characters that I think is the easiest to combo into Brutals, right? Since he's got such a strong restand, he just gets to kind of do whichever one he wants. But that's a pretty classic one, leaving just their legs. Kano's probably got a whole big collection of just people's legs just hanging around. I don't know what he does with them.
Gives me Big Bo Raicho vibes. You know, in MKX where he has that bump and dump brutality where he kind of just flies forward and does a belly barge and you just disintegrate. It's a good one. It's a really satisfying one.
My favorite brutal from him was the one where he literally flattens you, like just turns you into like a cartoon, like flat caricature on the ground. That one by far, it's so funny. It's so funny. It's so like yeah, this is a comedy character. Which is if it wasn't from anybody but Bo Raicho, I would be like, all right, this is a little wacky, but it's Bo. All right, so we are going to see the switch back to the Cetrion. I'm surprised we didn't see the Cetrion to begin with. I mean, he's just looking better and better with the Cetrion, looking so solid all the time.
I can only imagine that it just comes down to, because we've seen Kano, this variation of Kano do well against Cetrion in offline and online tournaments. So I do wonder what this is going to bring. Is now that plus string immediately just creating an opportunity, right? Command grab, the knockdown, already about quarter life down. Let's never forget, Cetrion 950 health against someone like this Kano variation, like that's going to shred. That lack of 5% might really hurt.
Yeah, I mean, it's just bits and pieces from Kano too, you know, where like the damage just adds up super quickly from a bunch of different sources all at once hitting you. And there it is, it's happening again. Oh no, and that's it. Just walks into the fire. There's no escaping. Yeah, just like you said, you know, a little bit of more health right there might have allowed Okakoi to live. The comeback would have been tough to begin with, but there's just no chance if you don't have that health. And this is match point for Mighty Unjust.
Oh, a good trade, actually. That trade's going to stop El Kukui from being able to fight his way out the corner. Here comes even more. Whoosh. And the chemical burn, like, it doesn't look like it does much, but it creates a dot effect, and that can do more damage than you might expect. Oh, God. Disgusting.
Oh no. What is this combo? What was that unnecessary style combo? How are you going to do that to your own family? How are you going to do that to your own brother?
Get out the grill. I guarantee you get food poisoning if you eat at Kano's barbecue. I guarantee it.
I don't know. The food looks pretty good, though.
Man. How long was that food sitting in that barbecue before he opened the lid? That could have been weeks old. And he's like, nah, we'll just reheat it, mate. It'll be good to go.
I mean, we have seen him like just stab a lizard on the ground and eat it like Baraka does for whatever reason. So I don't think he's very picky. So I think there's a good chance that food's like pretty old or made of some pretty gross stuff. But yep, the battle of the brothers ends in the way that it usually does, with the Mighty Unjust just slightly taking the advantage. And, you know, it was like a lot of close games, but overall it just goes as usual 3-0 to the Mighty Unjust. Just had the answer the whole time, and Kano looking really, really good. A character that we know that the Mighty Unjust has been working on, but, you know, we hadn't really seen the progress until now, and is playing slightly differently, so I'm curious to see if he's going to end up using that against any of the players in the tournament. Oh, yeah, nasty.
Yeah, that whole corner sequence in that final round as well, like the combo that he did was sick. Here we go, this was the moment. Let's see what he did. It was back one interactable, back one laser. Oh, it's so good. And then the end of it is completely, you just have to deal with it and guarantee. Sticking out the standing four. Oh.
Yeah, standing four to combo as an anti-air in the corner. That was just unnecessarily, like, stylish. Again, like I said, on your own family. How cruel is that? But it looks like we did see, yeah, you were right. It went to a game 5 between Aztec and Tweedy, but Tweedy coming out on top. And Biohazard is going to be the one who meets him there. So Biohazard Tweedy, another classic match that we actually saw in the first round of the tournament. We'll see if we go back to that Baraka, or if it's maybe Kano, or if Tweedy has some other answer of his own. Although it's probably the same character.
Yeah, this is the big thing. Is Bio going to go into that Baraka variation because it worked so well earlier on? Or is Tweedy, when he gets knocked into that loser's bracket, can open up an entirely new opportunity of him to just adapt to what you're doing? And that's one of the elements that we've seen, that someone will beat Tweedy like earlier in the tournament, and then they'll encounter each other later, and Tweedy just, something clicks, something changes. And it can be the smallest detail, because the way he plays Geras is not complicated. And I don't want to, you know, make it sound like he plays on a basic level, because he doesn't. It's just that he's so insanely good at the player versus player element, where he picks up on habits, tendencies, and Geras has those tools to pretty much make anything work because of it. Like, he can make the smallest change, and it will be the difference between getting 3-0'd and then 3-0ing you, and wait a minute. What variation does he use, though? Because he's been talking about spring cleaning the past couple of months.
Yeah. The last time we saw Tweety use this, it was spring cleaning, which was a pretty weird thing. But no, this is going to be the classic. And I was weirdly just thinking about this. I know it sounds like I'm lying, but I was literally thinking to myself, like, I wonder why Tweety doesn't play Cetrion. I feel like he'd be really good with Cetrion. But literally 5 seconds before this, I was just in my own zone. But this makes a lot of sense, honestly, as a pick. So I would surprised that we're still seeing him stick with Garrus, because Cetrion's another character that he can play style with. But let's see if he can get past the mix. That's the bigger question. Goes for the tick throw again. Not the immediate read like Mighty Unjust had somehow.
Yeah, but Chef, he's brought out the default variation name.
Ooh.
I'm so disappointed.
That's cursed. But does have customization on. That's pretty cool.
Oh my god. In what reality does Baraka get a flawless victory on Cetrion ever? What?
That's not Baraka. That's Killer Croc. Pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My mistake.
Yeah, it is your mistake. Excuse you.
Well, on a more serious note, like, this is considered normally one of the game's rougher matchups, so Cetrion versus Baraka.
Yeah.
It's not, because his movement's not very good. It's some of the weaker.
Yeah, for sure. But right now, you can tell that maybe Tweety's just not as comfortable. He's like throwing out the barriers, but Bio is just so good at this matchup. You can tell, just like waiting until the barriers pass and then throwing the projectiles past them. And yeah, well, one nice thing though is that if you do play against this matchup, and if you did in the past, back when there was not customs, you wanted the command grab, because not only is it a command grab, but it lets you control a little bit more space where Cetrion wants to control it. Oh, big punish, but no, drops the armor breaker. And now it's going to be still need to find another hit, but the projectile is a big threat. You might teleport. Yep, double teleport. Oh, the rock might have been a mistake right there, but yeah, you're right. You know, that's a matchup that you expect Cetrion to win, quite honestly, most of the time. But, I mean, Biohazard's been playing, like, matchups that are not in his favor for a million years in a million different games. I feel like he's just like, oh, you want to zone me? My character's bad at getting in? I'll find a way. I'll figure it out.
And it was being able to stick to it too, and just getting that one knockdown, and then kind of just mixing you up for the entire round, and not fearing the wake up. If you hit me with an up 3, who cares? He really wants to enforce that, and Tweety gave it a good go. Like, you know, the Garrus is always going to be the comfort pick. Cetrion on paper, like, absolutely annihilates Baraka, but Tweety doesn't play Cetrion very much, and I think that was very much well, if the matchup is that bad and I've got a pocket Cetrion, then maybe it's worth a go. Bio played the matchup better because he is a scientist, he's a lab monster, he loves to relish those harder matchups if he can get himself through it. And I think that was one of those cases. So we had a game to work with, Tweety gives it a go, doesn't work out, goes back to the main. I respect it, I respect the attempt.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the fact that, you know, he just didn't have such a good time in this matchup in the upper bracket today. So it's like he's already had an opportunity to try it out and he doesn't feel comfortable with it, which is understandable. So if there's a time to try things out, it's probably now. That had to have been an input error. That had to have been. He's probably trying to do back forward 4, got the flag instead. But hey, I always like seeing the flag. My one wish for this game is that the flag moves all get buffed.
Yeah, make the flag usable, because right now all it does is make a cool noise and that's it. With punish, that's the round. Man, 21% unbreakable from forward 2-1. That is not too shabby.
I'm telling you, man, the damage that you give this character is actually pretty significant, just off of the small hits. Another, I think, an underrated move for me is the Berserker. Baraka Zerker? Was that what it's called?
Baraka Zerker, yeah. Baraka Zerker.
Yeah, you get a ton of damage off that Unbreakable too, but right now, yeah, look at this, just hit and a hit and a hit. Tweety just not confident in his defensive choices at all. Are you blocking? Are you blocking low? Are you blocking overhead? Are you trying to jump out? Oh no, what a way to end it. He's like, just, come on, it's over. Just jump into your death, and not only that, he was ready for the brutal. That's pretty rough. So now 2 up 2-0. Where was he keeping that? Where was he keeping that delicious little snack?
You don't want to know.
And there's a fresh head on the ground right there. Why not just eat the fresh head? Why do you want to get the... Oh, you got a lot of dust today or something like that. But look at that.
I live in a house with 5 rabbits.
Oh, yeah.
And although I love them very much, I am mildly allergic to the hair. So when it gets in, I'm guaranteed to sneeze. I try so hard to avoid it, but when it happens, we just have to accept our fate, don't we? This is one of those cases where you just sneeze and it's like, this is your life now. Sorry, I don't make the rules. But this Baraka, Tweedy's having a really hard time with it. He's just getting overwhelmed. Bio is on this offensive flow that Tweedy cannot just step up against today. Kind of like what happened with Bio and Unjust, but in complete reverse.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see it too after that match, where it's like Bio's still going to play as well as he was before. You know, he didn't skip a beat after getting 3-0'd pretty quickly. Oh, just walking back. Look at this. What is this strategy?
Stay away from me.
The sand, I think, can get punished. The sand trap can get punished by the command grab if you do it at a bad range, I think. So got to be careful for that. Chop, 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 chop.
Oh! Tweedy's having a hard time punishing it. The chop chop is such a weird one.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you can very often down for it. That's a really consistent punish, but you don't get a whole lot for it. But if he's holding it, if you down for sand trap, it might be able to catch him on it.
Oh! Could have been a lot more Bio showing the respect here. Reversal throw. I mean, you're so used to Bio enforcing his turn that this regular throw just comes out of nowhere. Oh, God. That's half of it gone. And then some.
What happened in this game? I felt like Tweedy was winning for a minute, and then he wasn't.
Yeah, that's correct. You are right, Wonder Chef.
Thank you. I'm pretty smart about this game. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of how it went. Oh, a little bit far. The stab.
No, leg kebab on block into backdash forward 2. That's catching button presses too. There's some real finite situations.
Yeah, it's so good on block. I mean, the fact that it's like minus like 9 or something like that makes it look like it's way worse than it is, but it's an incredibly good move to have on block. It also lets you stagger a lot of strings a lot more just because of the like perfect speed that it has. But I'm surprised we haven't seen the crushing blow yet from the leg kebab. Nobody's been blocking high for forward 2-1-2.
Takes the
Nobody's
down
been
one.
blocking.
Oh! We're pulling out all the stops now, Chef.
Oh, that's it. Going for it again. Yeah, I mean, this is so weird. Very uncharacteristic of Tweedy. Just have no answer at all. And it's not like it was just no answer for, like, Mighty Unjust or something like that, like with Jackie. It was a no answer for Baraka, which is a very strange thing to see. But honestly, most people haven't had the answer at all for that variation. Bio's been looking unstoppable minus that one match where it just looked like it couldn't get anything started at all. So Bio's going to move forward into the top 3 now and take on El Cucuy. But yeah, this match, it was so weird. And I mean, it's the second time we've seen it with the exact same way. In fact, it honestly might have even gone better for Bio this time, I think.
And of all characters, a variation like this with Baraka. We haven't seen him pick Baraka in some time, and when he was basically just playing Bone Picker. Baraka serves a purpose for just specific matchups sometimes, and I can only assume that in practice, it's just been going really well, because it's a mixed machine. There's a lot of opportunities for Bio to get that one hit, use those good buttons that he loves to use. Playing the amount of Bone Picker makes him build his whole game around forward 2-1, and this variation clearly plays around forward 2-1 incredibly well as well. And that's going to be all she wrote. A dominant showing against Tweedy 2 separate times. And now a top 3 finish for Bio. El Cucuy stands in his way for grand finals. And I think chat is getting a bit mixed. I saw a comment in the chat room that says, you are all being baited. This is really Ketchup wearing a yellow hoodie. As if it is some revelation. I am Ketchup wearing a yellow hoodie. I think you're the one that got mixed, good sir. It's been a good day for that.
Do you ever regret that Mustard got the blue hoodie and that you got the yellow hoodie? Do you ever like feel like you should have just switched so that people stopped making that assumption?
Right. Actually, here's some deepest K&M lore. Is that originally I got sent the Sub-Zero one and he got sent the Scorpion one. But at the time, we were speed running Shaolin Monks, and we had the world record for the co-op run, right? And I play Scorpion in that run, and he plays Sub-Zero. So we swapped, because I play Scorpion and he played Sub-Zero. But now it's just confusing everyone, and it has done since I started wearing it. Sorry, everyone.
It's the unfortunateness of the fact that there are a few characters that share some colors in Mortal Kombat. So I think, you Ketchup and Mustard, or there's the Scorpion and Ermac twins, right? That's what you guys are all about, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. It's just robot Scorpion and robot Ermac. But now El Kakoi and Bio, if Bio uses the same variation here, El Kakoi surely is going to pick Cetrion because it is a hard matchup. But my gut instinct tells me it's going to be harder because the reality is Tweedy doesn't play a lot of Cetrion and El Kakoi does. So surely he's going to be able to make the matchup difficult. But again, this is not a variation that's very popular or common. So Bio might have that edge of unfamiliarity again, which is great for him.
Yeah, and we have seen that El Kakoi is a little bit susceptible to being overrun. And honestly, Tweedy's usually not. And the fact that he just wasn't able to find an answer on defense means that the offense of that variation, that Baraka variation, just looks absolutely terrifying, I think is what I would say. But we are going to see the Jackie pick immediately. Obviously, seeing that worked very well from the Mighty Unjust earlier. I didn't see which variation it was, actually. He picked it really quickly, but I think he's going to probably start off with the same thing. No, he's actually going straight back to the Bone Picker variation. I think, I mean, I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. It's a classic counter pick against Jackie.
It just gives you tools, you know what I mean? When she gets in, she can pressure and all that stuff, but just the existence of something that can stop the leap from just working all the time. Again, Spine Burst, tragically, is kind of one of the more inconsistent moves. It looks like it has an amazing hitbox, but it kind of doesn't. There are a lot of instances where they jump over his head and it will just whiff. Like, it just doesn't hit them. But if you can minimize the likeliness of that happening, I guess it can help you out. Bio wants to control this space with Punish.
He's spending all of his meter on projectiles so far, one of them in a combo. This is interesting. This is like a zoning game right now from El Kakui, who neither has the life lead nor like the ability to zone. Oh, I guess there's some projectiles. All right, here we go. This is where, oh, again, backing up. This is so weird. I don't think you necessarily win the matchup this way, right? I'm assuming that El Kakui is trying to find a moment to leap in and maybe punish a Blade Spark, but, oh, or just a good defensive option. I guess that works too.
Punish. Oh, that's it. Fatal blow. You're done.
Ouch. Yeah, could have at least, even if that wasn't there, maybe like a 1-2-2 crushing blow would have been a lot of damage leading into this. And so, yeah, one big risk right there. That was an unnecessary risk, right? I mean, you had the life lead, you had all the space in the world. Dash Punch was a little bit weird.
And the air again. And the pickup. I love it. Love it, Chef.
Ooh, did that look like it stuffed something? I'm not sure. It looked like maybe up 3 or something?
It was a flawless block up 2, and it actually got punished by the Spine Burst.
Interesting. Well, you take that. That's a win. Ooh, doesn't get the last hit, which means not as good Oki. Nice, flawless block.
Going down.
Again, though, just backing up. I'm super curious why El Kakui is not choosing to continue the pressure. I mean, yeah, sure, you're maybe not going to be able to like jump around freely, but dealing with this neutral seems more difficult than dealing with like having the opponent have a defensive option you can bait.
Uh-oh, there it is again. That up 2, flawless block is just not working. Now Bio, there's no fatal blow, but anything else will connect, and with El Kakui not having a breakaway, this is scary. 950 health. Eesh. A leap will get swiftly anti-aired now. Bio. Is there a leap or is there no leap? A dash punch maybe. He's trying to bait something so hard.
Oh! He like dashed up into El Kakui's face and then backed up immediately. That was, I mean, they were just not doing anything. But I like that they finally decided to swing it basically like the same exact moment. Wow, what weird blades this variation has. They're like spirals. That's very weird.
There's an old kind of school dinner item in the UK called a turkey twizzler. It doesn't really get served anymore because I think it was too unhealthy or something back in the day, but his arm blades with this skin look like turkey twizzlers. They do. Mustard and I have talked about this at length in the past. We've done it on Open Series, and I think anyone in the UK that grew up around the kind of 90s and mid-2000s, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. No one else will, though. You'll be what is this idiot talking about? Talk about the game for crying out loud.
I need to turn and Google turkey twizzler because I'm now
you won't like what
curious.
You see. You'll take one look at it and go, "Oh my lord, they look horrifying," and they were. They were.
All right, let's see.
But there's a character change.
Turkey twizzlers. All right. They're like, they're like
Baraka's arm blades. I told you.
I mean, kind of. Why are these made of turkey? This is not like a normal shape. This is like, it's like a curly fry, but like 10 inches long, made of turkey. I suggest everybody else goes look those up. That's certainly an
seasoned curlies. But now in this match, this has been the change to Cetrion. I was genuinely expecting Cetrion first. Now I was kind of shocked to see him not go with this, because this is a horrible matchup for Baraka, said by a lot of people. And this is why. He just gets zoned out really badly.
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, we've seen him do well in this matchup. Oh, that's big. That's a huge crushing blow. Is there defensive bar? There's not. Oh, is that a combo? I don't know if that's a combo. The down 2 into the forward 2. Maybe it is. That would have been a really cool conversion, but didn't quite get it. And yeah, like I said, you know, we saw him actually just like go do very well against Tweety's, you know, not as experienced Cetrion in this matchup, because again, this is the kind of the variation that you would like, just being able to control that space a little bit more. But you know, if he there's a good chance, I think, that Biohazard doesn't get a chance to get anything started in this entire match.
Yeah, and what he has in this variation won't help him much either. Yes, he's got the Blood Lunge, but he's not even out of range to enforce it. Spine Burst ain't going to do nothing because El Kakoi has no interest in closing in the distance. And it's going to be just a game of Bio trying to close in space. That command grab's a good start. Problem is, El Kakoi, ooh, gets the neutral jump. Oh dear. And I think we could be definitely seeing some kind of switch after this.
Oh, wait, maybe not. Let's get the punish. All right, just kidding. There it is. Yep, and I agree. I think we're going to see a switch. So now the question, though, is, you know, which character covers both of the matchups that you want to fight against, both Cetrion and Jackie? And I guess that's kind of the turtle question of Mortal Kombat 11, which character covers both of those characters. I think, honestly, though, I mean, I think Kano is probably the safest bet, right? I mean, we've seen him use Kano in both of these matchups to a lot of success, and even maybe just going for that Biopole Kano is probably a pretty solid choice. The Jackie, obviously you're not going to get as many conversions, but if you get Jackie locked in the corner with that variation, she melts the same as anyone else. And we're at least going to see, oh, I think that was with the variation that was actually picked. It's the Red Eyes Black Dragon, Red Eye Black Dragon. Or it should be named that.
I believe it's the Chemical Burn one. I saw Chemical Burn. The question is, what else has he taken? Lombard check. But yeah, this is the one. This is the one.
Yeah, this is, like I said, the goal here is that even though it's maybe not necessarily going to be the best in the counter pick after this, it's still going to be the best overall, I think, between both of the matchups that you're going to have to play in a row. And this is probably the best one against Cetrion, as we see an amazing start with punishing the wall, as almost no other characters can do, into breaking armor, into the restand, into a reset, into the, the interactable, just everything working out in Bio's favor in the first, like, 5 seconds of this match.
And we can't forget, this is an exact matchup that El Kakoi lost to Mighty Unjust. So Bio will have that information, being able to kind of pay attention to what happened in that matchup, why it was so difficult, what was enforced. A real, I think, just abusing of that forward one string, and Bio's going to absolutely do it, looking for the tick. Probably not expecting El Kakoi to disrespect that, but here comes that 13-frame startup ranged special. I mean, for what it is, that's fantastic.
Nice block. Oh, good patience, plus on block again. Ooh, good flawless block, but didn't have any meter to really take advantage of it, just decided to poke back. And yeah, those knives. Being able to trade projectiles with Cetrion is really important, because once you get her to a low amount of life, it really stops her from being able to do anything safely from full screen and just kind of win that way, try to get the life lead back. So having those knives is good. Wow, hard read.
But from that distance, I almost wonder, what is Cetrion even going to do about it? The risk-reward is definitely in Kano's favor, I think. Amplify the wins just to keep the extra plus frames, get back down.
Koi trying to launch a little bit more of like his own offense, but I mean, oh yeah, you're here, you're in the corner. Oh, poor El Kakoi has to deal with this 2 sets in a row, just sitting in the corner on fire with acid on you, burning in 2 different ways, I guess technically. That's rough.
Well, he's also in that situation trying the there is a specific piece of tech against this that we do see people do at like the highest level. You get hit by Chemical Burn in the corner, and when Kano goes to throw his lighter, you basically walk forward. you get hit by the lighter on purpose so that the flames on the floor don't get created. You basically trade a little bit of damage there for there being no set play on the floor. Unfortunately, sometimes, and I've been told actually by Mighty Unjust, I asked him about it in Ukraine, he said it's very character specific. Not everyone can do it, and sometimes it won't work every time. But I think players will go for it just in case it works, because it is the best way to stop the sequence, is to just get hit on purpose. It's really weird, but unfortunately not universal either.
Yeah, and if you can't do it, then you just got no option but to hold that situation, which is extremely terrifying. But, you know, we see switch back as we expected to the Jackie. And, you know, this might not be quite as effective at getting the conversions as the snake bite variation, but God, still a lot that you can do. Yep, I mean, look at this. Huge combo, restand mid combo into the pull again.
Having a bit of a Kano problem today, it seems. El Kakoi double eliminated by Kano at this rate. But will the Jackie have other plans? The meaty jump-in kick just to try and stop an anti-air attempt.
Ooh, gets over. I like that. Using the invincibility, too, from the startup of the interactable, just in case anything was coming his way.
Fatal blow. Yes, indeed. Now, the question is, does he survive? Now, there are a fair few hits first. Sometimes it will scale a lot, but I really think it depends on the string. Yeah, not in this case. Whee, nice.
Yeah, he was pretty low to begin with, but yeah, that is a really, really nice pickup. Usually we find that Jackie can figure out some ways to land Fatal Blow, but that was a pretty unique one. Oh, my. Oh, wow, not punished. That was surprising. I mean, that was just barely a whiff, so I think almost both kind of expected it to hit. And again, El Kakoi plays such a zoning-based Jackie. It's very weird to see, and also very weird to say. Just like, when he could pressure, he's like, nah, come try to get to me. Take damage all the time.
El Kakoi, he's always been a player, like, unlike his brother Mighty Unjust, he's been more to play on the dry side. Mighty Unjust is relentless aggression. Kind of like that full screen Kano ball. Oh my god. Hang on a minute. Anything into Fatal Blow here will do it. This is that magical game of don't get hit.
Oh, no! I like the attempt, but there was just nothing there from El Kakoi to get punished by, and that is going to mean we're going to game number 5. Biohazard, though, because he won the very first game of the set, is going to have the final pick. So let's see who he decides to pick against this Jackie. And it's interesting because now El Kakoi lost to Kano, right? El Kakoi lost to Kano, and now he's trying to find an answer to Kano. And then Biohazard lost to Jackie, and now he's trying to find an answer to Jackie. But they're both playing against each other, with the same person playing both those characters beat them, and is in Grand Finals. So it's this weird triangle of, like, who can beat who with which of these two characters. It's very weird, but it's pretty fitting that they are going to go to a Game 5, and he's going to make that final choice, which is going to be back to the Bone Picker Chef Baraka that worked the first time.
And in this case, I think this is going to give Biohazard the advantage. It's a matchup he's very comfortable with. The Spine Burst is so good at just stopping that approach. And the speed of the buttons. Baraka's pokes aren't the worst in the world. They're pretty fast. And I think when you're trying to deal with this kind of pressure, they can go a long way. But the start of each round is going to be so important. The start of this game even, because who gets first hit is going to dictate the damage, whoever has the life lead, and more importantly, where we are on the screen. You know, if Bio gets put in the corner straight away, not so good. If he puts El Kakoi in the corner, whee, that's a great way to start the match. Uh-oh, here we go.
First hit. Oh, the grab not connecting. Look how little damage he's getting. I mean, I guess that's actually pretty significant damage. Is that really a 190 damage string? Gee.
Oh, looking to chase down the roll perhaps, but a little bit too early on that. It's going to allow a full combo for El Kakoi, and again, a chance to reposition. Takes the corner pressure. A grab. Has done very little of those so far, so we're starting to mix it up.
Back to the zoning. I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing. Even with a life deficit, it's like, yeah, I don't care. Oh, no, that's so much damage. 140, and the second projectile. Again, you know, I don't want to say that it's like a mistake to back up like that, but El Kakoi has paid for it quite a few times in this set.
There's the anti-air. that raw leap in this matchup, it's not gonna work. Plus on one. I think it's +1, I believe, forward 2-1. The whole string, anyway. Oi! It's gonna be a big push in. And now an opportunity now for El Kakoi. Oh dear, so much damage.
Yeah, but again, just backing up. I mean, I like the fact that you push people into damage over time, right? This is a lot of damage, but... yeah, I mean, I guess it's really working out. I guess I can't really argue with this. This is how you want it to work out.
It's working now. We started the round with a significant amount of life. It's when you're down on life and changing. That's where it gets a bit more confusing, I think. And now Bio. Oh, that is timing right there. That is timing.
Yeah, what an unfortunate way to have that go. Like, the one time that you pull out the flag of all of the different times, it just happens to be the one time that we see the full screen leap in. Nice. Yeah, that breakaway, I'm not sure I want to say that it was worth it, because he didn't really avoid all that much damage, but overall, really clearly worked in this situation.
Now you can't break this. Oh, he was going for big damage.
Yeah,
he was looking for optimal damage.
Forward 4 into 2-1, that's a really tough combo. Super tough combo. But dropping that's big. You know, that could be his tournament life, because now again, he's got the life deficit. And we're back to the zoning game, where he's standing in damage over time. He does technically have the better projectiles, but it's a weird game.
Hang on a minute. Looks for the wake-up button. Nothing to work. That jump-in kick, so hard to challenge. Spine burst out in the air, but too low to convert. Biohazard aware of this. I like that.
Oh, this is getting to be really close. I mean, we're down to... Both of them are about to be in Fatal Blow range.
God.
That's it. That is it. Actually landing that last projectile was really the nail in the coffin. If El Kakui didn't have that Fatal Blow, might not have had the meter to continue, to guarantee the win, essentially. Maybe we would have had him given one more opportunity, but it looks like the one who's going to get double limited now is going to be the Biohazard with the issue with Jackie. You know, it looked like I said it was going to be kind of one or the other, but now Biohazard, who has had a few different character matchup issues before, is going to have to really look at the answers to the Jackie, especially both of them playing very differently. And by that I mean, of course, Mighty Unjust and El Kakui, where one of them playing very offensively and El Kakui playing very defensively, a very weird style. But in the end, it worked out, and that just weirded out Biohazard just enough. But, I mean, El Kakui, that's a really big win for him, right? Like I said, only has won a single one of these Open Series tournaments. But getting back up into the Grand Finals again in a bracket where there's Biohazard, where there's Tweety, that's a really, like, I mean, it's got to feel really good, right? El Kakui definitely not as big of a name as those players, but being able to defeat them and be above them in the bracket, I mean, that's pretty sick. Plus, being along with your brother in Grand Finals, gotta hope they're splitting the money.
I mean, they won. They were able to make it through and be the two best players of the day. And that ending, dude, that ending is insane because they both had Fatal Blow, if I recall, unless the leap gave Biohazard Fatal Blow's worth of health. But in that position, it was like one of us is about to die because the leap into Fatal Blow won the game. But if Bio had the Fatal Blow, I'm actually going to check the replay and just double check what his health was. No, not quite. The jump-in did it. So I was thinking basically what would have happened if he had Fatal Blow at the time. That leap would have been anti-air spine burst into forward 2-1 Fatal Blow, and El Kakui would have lost this set. But he probably would have survived the anti-air into whatever came next. But that was just timing, man. Like, he's been anti-airing that all set. The one time he threw that projectile is when the leap happened, which you could look at it as being lucky, but I actually think it was El Kakui just having a good prediction. When you have this full screen option, you can get a bit of a sixth sense, but when you just feel like they're going to throw a projectile and you leap, or you do a charge or a teleport, whatever it was, and in that case, he was bang on the money. It was right as he did it. Good read.
Yeah, just as a little side note before we move on to the Grand Finals, I think there is a possibility that he would have gotten the Fatal Blow because the damage over time from the projectile was on him as the leap was happening. So that's just something I was thinking about. But now it's time to move on to Grand Finals, the rematch from earlier in the tournament of the Mighty Unjust taking on El Kakui. Twin brothers meeting in Grand Finals, and this is actually, I think, one of the first times that they've actually met in Grand Finals. I don't want to say it's the first time ever, but certainly not a common thing to happen. They have met in the upper bracket finals before several times, but usually El Cucuy ends up going out at third. However, he's just been playing better and better and better, but now you gotta overcome your family, basically. This is gonna be easier said than done. I believe Mighty Unjust has basically kind of 3-0'd everybody today. I mean, it's been a pretty solid run, a very classic Mighty Unjust run, but El Cucuy has overcome some really tough opponents, so just gotta make something happen differently in this grand finals.
Hard to say what he can do different. Unjust is going into this, I think, with a clear advantage. It's just the way it is. His characters have always been a bit of a pain for El Cucuy to deal with. And this has always been, I think, the interesting side, that when the two of them have been playing NetherRealm games for as long as they have, the cool thing is, we've talked to Mighty Unjust about this a lot. It actually has historically been... Yes, we're hidden cursing it. We're hidden cursing it.
I hope we get some cool picks.
El Cucuy has historically been more successful when they play each other. MK11 is the first time that's ever shifted. But let's now have a look. Johnny Cage versus
Oh,
Rambo.
he's doing it. He's doing
Hidden
it.
M60. This is my favorite Rambo move, is that M60. I love it. It's so good.
It's pretty fun. If you block the one hit of it, you take a lot of chip. Let me just say, because then it gels you into the rest. Oh, but we're getting the movie Johnny Cage, which makes it an maybe 10 times stronger pick. Just saying. No actual in-game differences, but just my personal opinion.
Right,
Rambo
he does the hidden M60 though, the wake-up roll to beat him. It's just unfortunate timing right there. But is this Rambo going to be it? Clearly, he's been putting some time into it. Bit of a keep away though. We have the mace trap. I think it's in entire range because you have Claymore, we have M60, which, God, it's got such a good brutality. There it is.
There it is. It's actually really fast. It's kind of hard to react to. Oh, just dash into the Claymore?
Yes.
I don't know what that strategy was, but I don't think it exactly worked.
Now, the problem with Rambo and a lot of his moves is they have a lot of startup, and that's going to be a problem against Johnny Cage, is that he is just going to push his way in and just outspeed you every time.
Round 2, fight.
Yeah, this is, I mean, this is definitely a spot where you don't want to be. I understand why he's choosing the zoning variation, just because you don't want to have to deal with somebody like Johnny Cage being super close to you. You know, his normals aren't terrible, but it's Johnny Cage.
Man, he's just getting low profiled all day by Cage right now. Advancing mid. With this variation though, Rambo has basically nothing he can convert into.
For so long! It's like
It's my
the
favorite
longest
move he's got.
projectile. Dude, it's so funny. Oh, the armor breaker. That 4-4, I'm gonna argue, is like one of the best normals in the game. It's like overhead, it's fast, it breaks armor, it's got a crushing blow that's very reasonable, just for 2 in a row. And yeah, it just mixes people up. It's just a really good move. I believe it's safe. I believe.
Oh, wait a minute. That fatal blow's a threat. There's that drop kick. More of the M60. And he has 2 bars.
Oh, the
he's dead.
Claymore is gonna get him! Oh, the second Claymore!
Yes.
Just take the Claymore knockdown to set up another Claymore. That's the real tech.
Looking to advance. Lovely throw tech. This is such a weird range. This is not a range that Rambo really wants to be at.
He's kind of hiding in like the grass back there. You know, see there's some little plants. I don't know what those are. I don't know what this weird flora is. But it's that's where he's good in that kind of nature, I guess.
He's just getting rushed down in this corner. Just bullied by the range advantage of Johnny Cage, and the speed is making a big deal here. And I think that's probably going to be it.
Oh, wow, what a good neutral jump punch. And yeah, that is for sure it. I mean, actually, when he started setting up the Claymores, that looked pretty tough for Johnny Cage to get around. But when Johnny Cage got on him, he just wasn't given enough time to set anything up, to do any sort of zoning. Just lived in that corner. And so yeah, first game to El Cucuy, but what are we going to see as a switch from the Mighty Unjust? Is he going to go serious?
Hang on.
Or
So here's the thing. Production have just pinged it into my ear. This is actually what's happened and why we saw Rambo. They random selected. They are doing hidden cursor random select every single match, and that's why Rambo came
nice.
through.
Okay, okay. Yeah, you know, it's funny because it was hard to tell because that Johnny Cage is a pick that El Cucuy goes to very, very often. So that's what tricked us. And of course, Mighty Unjust always had some weird stuff. So okay, I'm glad to see this. So it's gonna be a random every single time.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Me too. It clearly had a plan in mind. But all right, so we're gonna see. Oh, Aaron Black with the command grab on the right side, and the one spawn for El Cucuy on the left. So again, there's been an admin discussion, and it's been allowed that you can re-random your character after a win if you decide to both agree to that as the rule. And so even though it was a win for El Cucuy, he's not going to be playing with Johnny Cage again because at that point, he might just win the whole thing with Johnny Cage. But he's going to be going to this spawn, which is a pretty solid variation.
But look at it this way. They're two brothers that play everyone in the game, and they've both agreed that this is the match they will play. This has happened before between Mighty Unjust and iScorpion. But the reality, this being grand finals, we could have a bracket reset. This could be the longest hidden cursor random select marathon of any MK11 tournament so far. And they play everyone in the game. So it's like, okay, let's go. I'm here for it.
Hey, yeah, me too. I'm glad. This is a fun way to end this, And, so far, I mean, you get a character that you're pretty used to, but I mean, Mighty Unjust looks like he's pretty comfortable with kind of any character that he's going to get. Oh, no, too far for the conversion for the fatal blow. Raw charge. Wow, did the breakaway, but got punished for it. And yeah, getting pushed to the acid. Oh, he's alive.
This is war.
This is war.
There's that raw jump. Ooh, that jump in one. He just committed to something that would have been it, but there's no way of him knowing that was going to work. No way at all.
Fight.
I wish they gave Spawn more voice lines. Just so I can hear him talk more.
Oh yeah, always. Hey, that's a huge punish.
Oh. Yeah, look at this. Look how ready he is to play this weird variation of Aaron Black. Like, without skipping a beat. He, knows all the setups. He's ready to, bait out, breakaways. It's just the classic Unjust style.
I mean, considering his first random pick was Rambo, and somehow he was ready for that with Claymore, Mace Trap, M60. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think there's a single character in the game that he's uncomfortable with. I would love to ask him that. Pew. Oh, just brings out the rifle, and now we're tied 1-1. Oh, the disrespectful way to end that.
All the bullets were gone. And the reason for it, that's a real kind of Hellboy style Aaron Black, isn't it?
He's got some of the coolest, customizable costumes. He's got a lot of sci-fi ones, which is really interesting because it's not exactly like his character. He's very Old West, but I think he looks really cool with them. Especially some of the Combat League skins, super sick. Also, gotta point this out, Mighty Unjust very good at setting up some really cool like costumes, basically. He's pretty top tier with that. I'm sure he spent a lot of time unlocking stuff. All right, here we go. What are we gonna get?
Again.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah, this is where we need to have some kind of royalty-free drum roll sound effect every time they roll. What's it gonna be? I'm so excited. Baraka and Baraka.
Baraka and Baraka. All right, so it is going to be the bone picker on the left, and on the right side, it's going to be I think it was basically Berserker Rock, or I'm not 100%. It's literal bone picker on the left side, and then Glizzy Gobbler. What a great name for that variation from El Cucuy. But I saw
but he's not wearing the chef outfit. That's really disappointing.
Yeah, that is extremely disappointing. I feel like you need to, if you're gonna have that sort of name. I mean, there's literally sausages on that outfit, right? I'm not misremembering that. There's literal sausages.
Yeah, instead he's opting for the sweet hat.
Oh, that's right. Your favorite hat. Oh, no, that's not your favorite hat, is it? Isn't that a different hat?
It's Mustard's favorite hat. Mustard likes the sweet hat.
Oh, it was Mustard. There's the round hat, though. I thought there was a round hat. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
I don't know. I don't even play Braga.
All right, well, we got the Quan Chi on the other side, which is pretty cool. Quan Chi-esque. Oh. Both of these players having to play against a decent amount of Baraka today. So they're both probably chanting a little bit of Biohazard.
Absolutely, and El Cucuy is going to take that first round. I mean, the reality is, though, he's going to get that crazy mix-up already. And it's going to be Mighty Unjust, who's it's traditional bone picker, right? So is the spine burst going to factor in the blood lunge? Maybe, I don't even know.
We haven't really seen too many like command grab situations yet.
Oh yeah, they both have spine burst. You know that variation you talked about where you said
it's this?
Yeah, blade
right?
charge, spine burst, and leg kebab. That's the variation El Kakoi is using right now.
Yeah, okay, so I'm glad that, like, somebody else thinks about the same exact thing. So shoutouts to the Glizzy Gobbler variation, the official name for it now.
Me and sausages.
Oh, no, a little bit too fast. That blade charge is a great move. Armor breaker, super fast conversions, but if you get it too fast, that's what happens.
Oh, tries to convert. That's it, Bio. He makes those spine burst combos look easy, but they're not. They're really not. Lovely sweep. Oh, and there's no chance to deal with that jump kick. Now El Kakoi, one game away from resetting this bracket, but will the random select gods be kind? That's a really cool looking Baraka.
That is. I think it's got to be another Kombat League, right? With the glowing bright spines. That's pretty sick. And the blades, too. I like it. But yeah, I hope they get more like mirrors with different variations. That was a pretty cool thing for them to random into. Especially the fact that it's Baraka, which we've seen plenty of today, which is a weird thing. But all right, let's see. Time for the next one. Like you said, one away from resetting. And then post reset, I wonder if they're going to go for the same random select thing. But they both know every character. I think they will too.
I guarantee they will. They're gonna ride or die it all the way. And I'm here for it. Who's it going to be?
Right. Match 4, technically. Oh my, the same thing? The same thing?
Mighty Unjust has been given that variation now. It's Cabal for El Kakoi.
Oh, yeah, that's trippy. That's super confusing. All right, so...
Why is there so much Baraka? What are the chances?
He's got... This is even more confusing because he's got the same cosmetic that he had in the last game, but now he switched the variation to be the mirror of what he had in the last game. So I'm super confused, but again, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who thought of that variation. And this Cabal, obviously a very top-tier character in the game right now, but the question is, does El Kakoi actually have a solid Cabal?
Oh, there's that down 4. Now Cabal being very jump happy, but Spine Burst is always going to be an answer for airborne movement. Unfortunately, I think Cabal is one of the characters where the kind of tragic misses of Spine Burst seem to run a little bit rampant. However, Mighty Unjust, oh, there it is, that meaty blade charge.
Yeah, no escaping there. So Mighty Unjust looking pretty solid in this. I mean, the Cabal not looking super well. Oh, never mind. I mean, that looks pretty good, actually. That was like a pretty good knowledge check as for that armor breaker.
Oh, wow. He's getting overwhelmed. He's not really getting a chance to do much at all here. Mighty Unjust, it's been the Baraka party.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Baraka today. Is Baraka the new top tier? Is that the secret?
You didn't hear it? He's the best character in the game now.
It looks like it from what we've seen today.
The game's like, hey, you really want to pick him, mate? He's so good. Oh, there's the challenge. That's disgusting. That really existed to mess up the flawless block and another one.
Wow. That was pretty dominant. Mighty Unjust definitely has a pretty practiced Baraka there. Actually, honestly, I'd say that the big issue there is that it didn't look like El Kakoi was very practiced with Cabal, which is pretty funny because, you know, usually pretty practiced with all of like the more top tier characters, but that seems to be one that's kind of fallen through his I don't know, group of characters that he uses. So, all right, still now reset point, but also tournament point, and it's all going to come down to what this final random is. And, well, at least final 4 pre-reset. I almost hope that we get to see the reset, so we get to see more random select matches. These go by pretty quickly.
They do. Now, Hidden Curse or Random Select, a lot lies in the balance. This is where the gods can be cruel. We could see the worst matchup ever. It could be a character that one of them just doesn't play, because the Cabal didn't look very practiced, but that's just Random Select, right? That's it. That's the way it works. Now, Mighty Unjust is going to get Liu Kang.
Oh no!
Liu Kang versus Kung Lao.
Spiritual guidance possessed hat Kung Lao. That's like not even like the best Kung Lao that you could get. And
But
this
it's good. It's good though. Spiritual guidance is sick.
Spiritual guidance is sick, but only if you know 100% how to use it. And this is a like tournament winning variation for Mighty Unjust, right?
It's
like
three-piece and a soda.
Yeah. It's 3 pieces of soda, and it's guess right, I think. And those are his 2 variations.
Oh god, he just does forward 1-2. I'm gonna assume that El Kakoi is not particularly used to playing Kung Lao because we're already seeing some discomfort.
Ooh, good tech. Yeah, I think trying to figure out the buttons, not using spiritual guidance. This is probably not the best random that we could have seen from El Kakui. And like you said, sometimes the gods of fate can just be cruel. Oh, he figured out how to use it. He canceled it.
Hey, it's working. He's all right. He's alive still.
What was that grab? That was like the weirdest grab.
This is really, really unlucky for El Kakoi. Of all the characters he could have got, I think this has to be at the bottom of the list. And it's now going to be a tournament point for Mighty Unjust.
Round 2.
Yeah, this is, there's a lot of strength to this variation. This is actually, you know what? I bet I know why he made this variation. I think, what's his name? Xaziz made the combo on Twitter that was the highest meterless combo in the entire game, and it was this variation from a very specific range in the corner. And
that is true.
Yeah, aside from that, you don't see these two together like super often. So my bet is he was trying that combo and doesn't actually play this variation very much, which is unfortunate because now he ended up getting it in a tournament and might be paying for it a lot. And that's going to be it. Mighty Unjust with the random select. Oh, the mercy. I lied. Not it yet. Just to add insult to injury.
Nah, man. I actually think it is the most merciful mercy we could have ever seen. He knows his brother doesn't play that variation. He's like, I'll let you live. The disco ball will come down, though. Sorry, Kung Lao. I am the champion once again. The main character. All eyes on me. You're going to be second best.
How cruel. I mean, we've seen this friendship from the Mighty Unjust at the end of these open series tournaments so many times, and in random select it still even goes to that. So yeah, great showing from both of the brothers. I loved seeing the random select picks, but overall we just got some really weird variations on the side of El Kakui. But congratulations to both of them. I'm sure they're both very happy to make it into the grand finals, but it will be Mighty Unjust in the end who comes out on top. Of course, it was the Rambo that carried him, right? It was the Rambo Claymores, of course. None of the other matches mattered.
That was my favorite round of the whole tournament. It was so good.
Just made him run into 2 Claymores both in a row. That was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So my homework now for the Mighty Injustice, by next month, you have to have a fully functioning practice Rambo so that we don't see, the Rambo lose again, because it's only fair. But still, yeah, I mean, it's so weird that we get to see, we see Rambo, and then we see Command Grab Aaron Black, and then we see, 2 different variations of Baraka, and then we see Liu Kang, and Mighty Unjust knows how to play all of them. Of course, for anybody who doesn't understand why they're picking all these characters, it was random select, re-random all the way through grand finals between the 2 brothers, just trying to kind of have a fun time at the end of this. And it was a run back from earlier. But Mighty Unjust, he beat him in a serious match, beat him in the random select match. That's how the fates go. But it was close this time, both of them knowing just such a tremendous amount of characters.
It's a great way to finish the tournament, to be honest. I do feel for El Kakoi that he clearly got a character that is not one of his picks. I think you're definitely onto something that he was likely trying that highest meterless corner combo, and that was just a variation that existed because of that. And we can check out the bracket though. It was a fun day. Biohazard versus El Kakoi went down to the wire. We had a fair share of basically 3 2s and 3 0s. There was almost no in between, with the exception of Biohazard versus Tweedy. But a fun day, a nice return, and a great opportunity to see some Open Series action once again. Now, if you want to get involved in these tournaments, the way you do it is to do compete.playstation.com. On YouTube and Twitch, you can scroll down. It should give you a little icon that you can click. And as you can see here, the monthly finals for Soul Calibur 6 and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War can be found on the Competition Center. And with June 1st and June 2nd, there's plenty of action to sink your teeth into. But we have now been doing Open Series tournaments, so these broadcasts and everything, Chef, for about a year. And we've fully, well and truly come full circle, because this time last year, we were just about to see the kind of release of Aftermath, where we had Robocop, the Fujin, and Shiva. I had to think for a second who that other character was, because they've been in the game for so long. And with it came the competitive weekly invitationals, the monthly finals, Aftermath's entire kind of existence. Open Series was like the absolute main stop for those tournaments. And we had other games, BB Tag, Under Night, Soul Calibur, and more, which opens up for plenty of opportunities for a year in review. Now, that year in review, a very special show taking place tomorrow. And you can tune in same time, same place, just PlayStation channels on YouTube and Twitch. Give it a look, and we'll be reflecting on all of the wonderful activity that PS4 tournaments brought into the fray for the entire year they've been going on.
Yeah, it's been almost exactly 1 year, right? I mean, it started in June of last year, and now leading up until it's just about to be June. So it truly is a year. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there. You know, some nice moments, and maybe even some stuff from us. So definitely be sure to tune into that. And you know, personally for me, it's been really cool to see like how the players have developed over the past year, and just to see, you know, what players have like come from being like these, like, oh yeah, these players are pretty good, to being just these top players, and what the players that were good back then have switched to now. It's you know, not just for Mortal Kombat, of course, it's for a bunch of different games. So I definitely think that's absolutely worth checking out, because yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been a year. It seems like it's been like a couple of months, but boy, it's been a lot of tournaments over a lot of time.
I'm going to be really unprofessional and break kayfabe. I've just been told that obviously the timing will be different, so it's not same time, same place. It's the same place, but timing-wise, 10 a.m. What is that on the end? Because my time zones are bad.
Oh, probably Pacific time. So currently
10 a.m.
it's...
That's what I've been told.
Okay, so probably 10 a.m. Pacific time is my guess. Yeah, so pretty early, so just about an hour after usually we start our European tournament. So yeah, 10 a.m. Pacific time, a little bit after we usually start the European tournament. So, you know, get up not too early, you know, get in, rest in a little bit of sleep. But, you know, there'll be a lot of stuff to check in and see if you can remember some of these moments, because some of them are hilarious and some of them are super hype, and there's going to be some awards and such. So yeah, definitely, like I said, we're checking out.
It's been really nice to be back, though, this month. GG's to EU and North America. It's been a really fun day, and I'm excited to check out tomorrow's broadcast. But that is today all we have time for. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. As always, a massive thank you to PlayStation, PS4 tournaments in general, for the continued support here for so many communities around the world, having these opportunities to showcase the games that they love the most. And the hard-working production teams behind the scenes always working tirelessly to make this work. I mean, they really did come in hot a lot today, whether it was the Observer constantly changing around, the instant replays, all those kind of little tidbits of information. It's very vital, and it definitely makes our job a lot easier. But thank you all so much for tuning in. My name has been Ketchup, joined by Wonder Chef, and we'll see you for more activity to come. Compete.playstation.com. Get involved, check it out. Much love, good night, and peace out.
ステーション
You can't hold me down. Yeah, how you let me know? You won't beat that out of car. Looks like bling.
No! No! Wait. No jokes, no gimmicks, just combat.